We are now recording.
Job. They want to be able to transfer over to the UFC, and the best thing you can do is win on this last card. And from what I'm hearing and what I'm reading, it sounds like
camera 3 is functioning, and it is.
KJ's not a young guy. Who knows? Maybe that might have been KJ Newton's last fight.
Right. So camera 3, and you can adjust that to your whimsy, to whichever height you need. So just want to make sure.
Can only help. That's funny. It will help enough to get Ryan Couture into the UFC.
So this is just to see what's going on, so you can see, who's doing what, and there's nobody there.
I think it will.
So,
I think it
but everything's going. When this says, what's that?
Do they all?
Yeah, they all autofocus. This one's the weaker of the 3, and I always have it on me because I'm the weaker. I don't know. But I'm more focused on these other cameras, especially with the guests. So, but you can always see where things are going if you need to. And that's the fun one with that one is that it does actually rotate. So does this one, but it's a little harder to rotate.
Yeah, especially for me.
Yeah, and every once in a while I'll swap these two, but I kind of like this one here because it's the best quality. So you can actually rotate all the way around, even to where you're on it yourself. So, hey, and this will be on YouTube, and it's already on YouTube because when you're watching this on YouTube, it'll already have... Isn't it awesome? I'm talking in the future.
I'm in the future.
I am in the future right now.
I'm not.
You are.
We are all in the future.
We are all in the future right now. Because by the time anyone's actually watching any of this video, it's already happened, and it's now...
I'm in the past.
Whatever. Christopher Walken gourmet.
Right. This one has no microphone. But these two both have mics, right?
Yes. So any of the other guests that come in will have to play that way. So you guys get microphones.
So I should sit over here.
Right there's good. Or if you do want to sit here, you can pull.
Stretcher?
One of them does.
Oh,
that's
so
right.
she can use that.
Oh, I can use that.
Okay.
And that one should look around. Yeah. Cool.
You've probably heard it before. After the end of a relationship or marriage, a family friend or relative will offer those famous words.
What we got plenty of time.
Fish in the sea. Well, that kindly friend or relative is wrong, dead wrong. And not because you're hideous and undesirable, but because the fact is, many fish are declining in number. Now, here's the part where you might ask, what can I do? Well, I'll tell you.
So you're good to go as far as the board goes.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I don't think I've never had to deal with this phone. And well,
that way, you'll keep the oceans healthy.
I'll have to deal with that
Okay.
And
I'm going to tell people to call in. 2 seconds.
oh, we're already on the curtain call board. As far as here. But you've got...
Right, yeah, I'm just waiting for them to...
So we got 34 minutes still. So,
Yeah.
so it'll keep going forward.
Right.
Message from the Ad Council and Environmental Defense.
In 1985, Rotary International committed to a goal of ending polio worldwide. Very soon now, after immunizing over 2 billion children, the goal will be achieved. Rotary, humanity in motion.
This message is brought to you by the Rotary Club of Green Valley. Visit their website for more information, rcgv.org. That's rcgv.org. Or call 458-7493.
I think that does it.
Every Thursday night at
You gonna tag me now?
USC Trojan Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Right here on AM 1400 Sports Talk Radio.
I don't know if it'll work this week. It didn't work last week. All I got was white last week.
That's so great.
USC Trojan Talk with Coach Harvey High.
He's got the
Nice.
live head cam blend point of view.
Check out Town Square's
It's an infrared flashlight. What are you talking about?
They're every day at 8 a.m. and breakfast all day long.
So we're off the spot. Ready?
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Town Square's Restaurant Row, located directly across from the Ray movie theater. Everyone's welcome at Ranch House Kitchen because they cater to all size parties, families, and business gatherings. 3 full bars, their favorite alcoholic beverages, And if you bring the kids 12 and under, Monday through Friday, they eat free. Everybody's invited to ride a mechanical boat for fantastic food, drinks, and a great atmosphere.
So we'll run another couple minutes of
Las Vegas Boulevard South in Town Square.
Ads.
The reservations call 702-749-6400.
It's funny.
How fresh is sweet tomatoes grown?
Play the same
Let's just
commercials
say
for.
within 24 hours of being in the ground.
Hey, you know, brand recognition.
What's that?
Brand recognition.
Fresh from the farm to your fork.
Right?
Made from scratch every single day. Sweet Tomato Salad Bar includes fresh tossed signature salads and fresh cut produce, plus 8 made from scratch soups.
Thanks for coming in. Was it last minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's alright though. Cool. I was like, what are we talking about? He's like, LVLT and Clockwork Orange.
Yeah,
Like,
somebody from LVLT should be here.
Cool.
But until they get here,
Tossed salads prepared every
We'll manage.
we'll have some things to talk about, I'm sure.
I know one thing we can talk about.
Sure. Hey, it is sports talk now.
Right?
Or call 888
Turn my ringer off.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know where mine is.
For Las Vegas's best sports
That's a good
talk.
point.
Keep it
I don't
tuned
know if
right
this
here
number's
to
been
the
given out
sports
to people
voice of
before.
Las Vegas. AM 1400 KSHP, North Las Vegas.
I got a new phone, yay!
To the slowest commercial ever recorded. I don't know where mine.
You are keen connoisseurs of Cane's crispy, extra-long crinkle-cut fries, dedicated to the made fresh daily
Cane sauce show.
Caniacs. We toast you all from
And we'll do one more commercial.
For 5 Las Vegas locations, go to ilovecanes.com.
Are you sick and tired of your garage door going up but never coming down, or going down and coming back up on its own? The kids knocking the motion sensors around? Oh, it's a nightmare. Custom Hearth and Door is here to help. They are your one-stop shop for garage door openers, and repairs. Great service deals all the time. Also, you can't
Potato chips are
Custom
awesome.
Hearth and Door and not do fireplaces, as they
All right.
provide high-quality
30 seconds.
gas-fired fire.
Oh!
We've discovered a problem.
Custom Hearth features the best brand names in the business, including the LiftMaster garage door openers with their new keyless entry with fingerprint verification, plus products from Real Fire, Craftsman, Fire Magic, and Lennox. Call Custom Hearth and Door at 657-1280. That's 657-1280. Or visit them online at custom-hearth.com.
Where's the bell?
That's custom-hearth.com.
Well, it is Sunday again, and Glenn is at the helm. Eric's off doing a spelling bee. Go figure. It's Curtain Call with Eric Wall. How about that? It is another glorious Sunday here in Las Vegas, and joining me in the studio tonight are neither one of our regular hosts. How dare them? Sean Critchfield, newly christened co-host for Curtain Call, is not here. Eric is not here, but two of our wonderful friends in the Las Vegas theater community are here with us today. Terrence Williams and Jamie Woodard.
We're taking over!
We're taking over, yeah. We're not taking names, actually. I don't want to take names. It takes too much effort on my part to scribble things down.
No one can read your writing anyway.
No one can read my writing. I want to apologize in advance for last week's horrible cinematography. I will be winning no awards ever for cinematography, certainly not after last week's debacle of not pressing record. Is it recording on the computer, Jamie?
It's depressed.
Okay.
It doesn't flashing though.
Okay, but it's not a red dot showing?
There's a red dot that's faded.
Oh, good, good. That means it's recording.
Faded means it's recorded.
Yeah,
I would think that it would be blinking.
No. If it's red, you push it, and then it's not red.
How many technical people does it take to set up a video?
You know what? More than me, that's for sure. But hopefully I do have the action cam working properly. I had to take it apart.
So this is a camera?
It is an actual camera.
It looks like a flashlight.
It is also a flashlight and an infrared light.
It is also a flashlight.
Yeah, a very cheap purchase at Fry's, and the fact that it didn't work at all last week is an indication of why it was such a cheap purchase at Fry's. A nice $25 camera that...
That's only $25?
It was. It was clearance, and there's a reason why, because...
because it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I had to take...
a flashlight.
Take the thing... yeah, very expensive flashlight. I had to take the darn thing apart, reseat a couple of connectors inside. I felt very cool and nerdy doing so. But then again,
But now I'm the one doing the camera work, and I'm going to break everything probably from here.
No, please don't.
Oh, okay.
That's very inexpensive. It's very inexpensive equipment over there, save for the one camera that's pointed at me. How's your Atlanta Falcons doing, Terrence?
Yes, well, about as well as your 49ers.
Not
we'll
quite
be
as
playing
well.
each other next week.
Yeah, my 49ers had less of a scare than your Falcons today.
Let's see. We both threw for an interception. We both had our quarterback have to run it out. We both had.
I will not disparage your Falcons.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
Not till next week.
I'm very happy to be an Atlanta Falcons fan, and we're actually moving forward to a.
First playoff
I know,
win.
first playoff win in forever.
So congratulations, Mr. Gonzalez, if you're listening out there.
But it was embarrassing. I had by 20-0, and everybody's like, "Wow, look at this! It's going to be a shoe-in." And then the second half was like a complete nightmare, and they scraped by with their hands and their butts in their hands. Barely made. Yes,
they were scraping by.
Yes.
With their
For those of you just
do
tuning in right now, it is curtain call. Eric Ball is not here, and we're talking sports. Although this is a theater show, so
I just feel like it needs a different name when you host, because we have curtain call, Eric Ball.
Well, I think the boys from LV Taps had called it curtain sheath with Glenn Heath, and I'm not really sure if that's the best rhyming.
Theater teeth with Glenn Heath. That's gonna be my that's my choice. It's got to rhyme with Heath. Come on, what do you got?
I'll think.
Christmas wreath with Glenn Heath.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I got nothing.
Yeah, there is nothing. Nothing rhymes with Heath that I can say on the radio.
Oh.
Yeah, a great weekend for theater. I believe the Proletariat and Boing Boing opened up at LVLT, both to sell out opening nights. And Putnam 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Please, folks, go see it. Fantastic production. One more week over at Faith Lutheran High School. This is a production that all the kids put together, directed by the students, choreographed. There's obviously adult help. Eric just doesn't let the kids run wild. Maybe he does, I don't know. But
they do tend to run wild anyway.
But fantastic. I had the opportunity of seeing it Friday night, and I was blown away at the talent that those kids possess. Jordan Mazzucato taking another turn on stage. He played Captain Hook and Peter Pan, and played Leaf Coney Bear in this one. And just amazing watching this boy grow up and seeing the amazing things that he's able to put out there. Same with our intern Kelly, who was on stage the night I was there, and Marissa McCoy, the few students that actually knew. Brooke Solon, unfortunately, was on the next night, and I didn't get to see her, but I expect she did quite well as well. And Jamie's going to be going to see it next week, isn't she?
I get to go be a student.
You do. You get to be a student.
She's the right height for it.
She's the right height, and she's going to have to learn how to spell difficult words like cow and casserole.
I'm so excited about spelling cow because
jihad.
that's about all I can do.
I heard someone couldn't spell jihad as well.
Oh, that was correct. They spelled it with a G. But then again,
jihad.
Yeah. Don't know what else to say. And
there was also your appearance in Sweeney Todd.
I did. I had my final scheduled performance. Obviously, I'm a selfish actor and want to be on stage more. But I do not wish ill of Chris Mays, who has been doing the title role since last October and reprising it here in January. But if he is listening,
How do you feel about filling in those shoes? I mean, he's
well. It's I don't consider it filling in his shoes.
Okay.
I don't believe I was brought into the production to mimic what Chris does, and I don't think any director would want that.
No.
At least, you know, not something along these lines. Maybe if it was an ensemble role where it's like, you know, this is the set thing.
Right.
But Brandon Burke let me take a little bit of control over, not a whole lot, obviously, because the production had already been set. But he did give me some opportunity to develop the character in a way that I wanted to pursue. Chris plays it very heavy, very psychopathical, if you will, if that's even a word. And I've always seen Sweeney Todd as an everyman, someone who just was dealt the blow of his life and
hell bent on vengeance.
That's what it comes to in my mind. Not that he comes off the boat seeking revenge, but that's what he's left with. I mean, there's nothing else for him. And through that course of actions, becomes mad and not necessarily crazy, but certainly the blinders have closed in on him, and his world becomes a very narrowly focused world. A huge crowd today. I think the largest audience. So I want to thank everyone who came today, because I think a lot of them did come to see me, and so I feel very humbled that so many people felt I was worthy. That's
excellent. And when I said fill in shoes, just so you know, I
know you didn't.
I think anybody who's ever had to understudy a role always has this. You know, there's always a thought of, you know, this person was cast in this role, and I am the backup player, the second string player. Is my performance on the same professional level as this person?
I think so. From a lot of the feedback that I've gotten, and some people have seen both of our performances and have had good things to say about both. I haven't gotten a word out of Davala yet. I know he saw half of a production a night of the show that I was doing, but he wasn't going to be reviewing me. I asked him directly, and he's like, "We'll have coffee." And so I'll go from there. So
that's been a new thing he's been talking about.
He's going to have coffee with
I'm glad he's finally discovered coffee. I don't know. And you know, you say the word understudy, and there's part of me that's like, you know, I don't feel that that's what I've been given.
Okay.
That was what was offered to me, and I said, well, here's the thing. You're asking me to learn Sweeney Todd in 3 weeks, and I'm familiar with the show, having performed The Judge a year and a half or so ago, and being my favorite show, I'm familiar with it, but not to the extent of, oh yeah, I can just walk into the show. And he asked me to do the understudy. I was like, I'm not going to guarantee me some performances, because that is a huge undertaking to not do anything. If I were being paid, you know, something different entirely as well. To my knowledge, no one is being paid to do that show, but you know, to my knowledge, is obviously very limited. So, but I'm very happy for the opportunity.
Do we have the bell?
We do.
I would love to. Well,
stop me from talking.
No, that's not what I meant. Just be annoying with the bell.
Would you like to? Would you like to give our listeners just a little taste of Sweeney Todd?
Oh yeah, do that.
I did not bring a meat pie. I'm very sorry.
I'm so hungry.
Really? Well, you guys could have come seen the show.
Yeah.
The Falcons game ran pretty late.
Yeah. In all honesty,
I actually thought you had one more week.
There is an outside chance that obviously there's 4 performances left, and Chris has not been able to accommodate the Sunday matinees, which is why I was needed to come in. So there is an outside chance, as there has been any other night, that I could perform next Sunday as well.
At what time?
It would be a 2 p.m. matinee.
Gotcha. So you'd have to watch your football game. And
I would be DVRing the matinee, and you know,
you'd be DVRing the matinee.
All right, no.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'll be phoning in the matinee.
The part of Sweeney Todd will be played by the DVR.
Yes. That's not what I meant. I'll be DVRing the football game.
Okay, just to clarify.
Then coming here after the matinee, turning off all. I mean, we're at a sports talk channel, so I would have to turn off everything. Pray that no one said, "Oh, great game! Don't tell me what the score was," and then go home and watch it, like it did the Seattle game a couple weeks ago, which lasted about 5 minutes into the DVR. I was like watching. I was like, "Oh, Seattle's up 21-0, and it's not even first commercial break." And then I turned it off.
Mm-hmm.
But
Back on sports again.
Yeah.
It's an important thing.
Well, I was trying to divert
to
the whole thing of, hey, give us a little taste of Sweeney. I was like, why don't you give us a little taste of Pippin? I don't know.
Don't challenge me.
I'm not going to challenge you.
You know what?
We should play the.
We should. Yes, we should.
I purchased a game as a gift for my lovely partner Kelly, and yesterday. What? Don't.
She's lovely.
What? Oh, she gets a. Oh, no. I was like, she's not lovely, and you're ringing the bell against her.
No.
Yeah, you should have to substitute a word every time until we're good to go like that.
Oh, are we going to play change?
Oh, let's go.
So wonderful, sweet, thoughtful, courteous, kind, obedient, thrifty.
Oh.
She's obedient?
She's obedient.
Wow, no, we never knew about Kelly. So, you bought her a game.
I bought her
kind
a
of
game. A board game.
It's an obedient game.
A game that's boring?
No, a game. Shut up, Terrence. A friend of mine who's I believe at University of Colorado. Many of us know Nick King.
Mm-hmm.
He had gotten the same game as a gift, and it's like, oh, this is fantastic, and it's become a Broadway star, which Kelly is also into musical theater, as all three of us are here, and. It's like the game of life, except that you have to audition for shows, be cast in them, get an agent, publicist, and apparently win Tony Awards, which, Terrence, you won like 3 Tony Awards yesterday.
I did. It's the experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, and you told me that it was actually a game created by Ken Davenport.
It is, who's a producer in New York.
Yeah, he created Ultra Boys, and was a producer for the Awesome 80s show.
Awesome 80s Prom.
Awesome 80s
Speed
Prom.
the Plow, my first time.
Oh, he did Speed the Plow?
most recent Godspell revival, a whole
Very nice.
slew of shows.
So this game he apparently created and was a hit. Jamie lost.
Yes, I
He
lost
lost
terribly.
big time.
Big time. But you know what? Maybe I'm just going to be a star bigger than Broadway, so that's why I didn't have a lot of time for Broadway.
I was just happy that my final role was as Miss Hannigan and Annie, and I was able to.
After much, like 5 minutes of trying to find the words, after being in that show.
Part of the show is having to actually sing songs from the musicals that you may be cast in, and
sometimes as the character.
As the character, yeah.
This is good. You know, if you're listening and you're a fan of musical theater, you don't have to be an actor actually to play this game. This was my first time playing it, and I do work in theater, but I was thinking, this is great. Like, more people should see this game if you're a fan of theater.
It's a lot of fun. My daughter, who's not very savvy into the world of musical theater, actually was very close to beating you, Terrence.
This is true. This is true.
And she didn't even do the whole finishing thing. Like, she was the last one on the board.
She was the last one on the board. She was.
And that just goes to show you that...
Even nice girls finish last. I don't know.
Age
that it's
before
just a
youth. I don't know.
I don't know. But it was definitely a fun game, and we'll probably have to incorporate the Broadway musical encyclopedic compendium dictionary book thing to go with it. You know.
Yeah. One thing that I enjoyed about the game too was that, and we were talking about this. Terrence and I were talking about this afterwards. Was if they had like an expansion pack for the other musicals, because I felt like we went through the deck pretty quickly, and it was pretty cool. But if you go through the deck and you know what to expect, then you obviously have an advantage over everybody else very quickly. So if they had some sort of expansions, or even maybe an iPad app where you could pull it up and verify somebody's lyrics or different things like that, I thought it would be really super cool.
Yeah, just keep talking, because I'm having to Google something here real quick. So keep talking, Jamie.
So now it's what rhymes with Woodard?
Nothing.
Curtain Call with Eric Ball, and nothing rhymes with Glenn show, and
Curtain Call with
what
Jamie's
rhymes with Woodard?
Ball.
That's what I was just asking. What rhymes with Woodard?
Noodle.
Noodle.
Noodle. Well, we're expecting some guests from LVLT. I think Ernest Hemmings is on his way, and we've got Brandon McClenahan coming in at roughly the 7 o'clock hour with a couple of other guests for the upcoming QuadraNine production of A Clockwork Orange. But Jimmy,
you're doing well here.
I am doing well. I was until I lost my train of thought.
That's my fault. People
I know.
were texting asking how to get to the studio.
Yeah, my bad. Not giving everyone proper directions. Although I I don't think I knew Ernest was coming until just a few months ago. That was something Erik had set up, which is great. Jamie, are you doing anything?
I'm looking forward to some auditions coming
Yeah.
up. I'm not. I've been taking a little breather over the holidays and everything, and I'm trying to pick which ones I want to go audition for. But one thing I am doing is the drive. So we could.
Can we talk about that?
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
It's like
I don't
Fight
know.
Club. You just...
Really?
Toss
No.
the ball back over there.
I know. Well, first I want to talk about auditions, though.
Oh, yeah,
You may
yeah.
want to know what's coming up.
Well, I certainly know that next Tuesday and Wednesday for the Onyx Theater there's auditions for Next to Normal, which is being directed by Steve Huntsman, Huntsman Entertainment, in conjunction with, I believe, Off-Strip Productions there at the Onyx. And I don't know, has Ragtag had their auditions yet for...
I believe they had... I'll say the
I
word
think-
believe they had.
I think that they have some auditions coming up too. I can.
Well, I know that they've got a concert season at LVH, the Las Vegas Hotel, and they're doing Guys and Dolls and
Les Mis.
the Miserables. I didn't know that Phil had posted auditions for that. That's fantastic.
Auditions for the musical Violet, which is a lesser-known musical by Janine Tesori, who wrote Thoroughly Modern Millie and a few other shows. Phil Shelburne is directing that for CSN in the Black Box, and that is January 28th and 29th from 7 to 9:30.
And that is also a musical. So does he have any specifications of what they're looking for?
Let's see. Preparation: singers, 32 bars of a Broadway musical, gospel, or selection from Violet, and accompanist will be provided. Non-singers. Parts for non-singers. A contemporary dramatic monologue no longer than 90 seconds.
Okay.
It's one of the things that I think we've talked about before is that very few places in this town ask for monologues for auditions. So it's nice to see someone saying, "Hey, show me you can prep something." In
Well, and I trust Phil implicitly, and good on him. I know that Shannon Cook is doing the musical direction for that show, so between the two of them, that'll definitely be a very good show. I've listened to the music from it.
I was really excited about the music from it. Actually, I hadn't heard it before, but I was listening to it because I'm thinking about going out for that.
Yeah,
one.
that would be a great one for you.
And it seemed really fun and really sort of Big River-ish, but still, there's a lot of musicals where I listen to it the first time and I go, I don't know if I would ever even want to do this show because the music isn't just hit me. It's not my style or whatever.
Yeah.
And if I end up doing the show, of course, you love it by the time it opens, or you love it all the way through.
You hope you love it.
You hope you love it. But no, for me, I usually get into a love relationship with whatever show I'm doing. But even if my first impression wasn't like crazy about it, but I really did like the music from this one.
Have you ever had a show where you did not have a love affair with the music?
By the end of it?
No, just getting into it. I mean, by opening night, you're like, I'm so sick of this music. Because I do.
I do. Yeah. Sound of Music.
Hello, Dolly.
Let's see. I don't know if I've ever. I'll have to think about that because no, I don't think so.
Please do. We have 2 hours.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever really hated a musical before it opened, or even not hated it, just okay, I'm over it kind of thing. I did Joseph 3 times. I mean, I love the music and I loved it going in, and even the different take on it.
Well, and that's got to be part of it too. I mean, if you were to do Levi 4 different times or 3 different times,
yeah,
I mean,
probably
you played different characters each time, so
yeah, and I think that is the truth about it. But like, even the only one that I could actually think of maybe would be Annie when I did Annie as a kid. Because I didn't have that best experience as a kid doing that show, and so by the end of it, it sort of ruined the musical for me. But it was one of my shows that I was like, as a little kid, I listened to the record and I did nonstop.
What little kid doesn't?
Right, of course. Well, little girl anyway, and just listen to it over and over
Obviously,
and over.
I didn't because I couldn't sing anything of Miss Hannigan's.
Right. And he even played and sang that same part.
We're talking about the game that we, the 3 of us played yesterday. We'll get back to the drive because that's where it stemmed from. It just being put on the spot and told, hey, sing a song from Annie as Miss Hannigan. It's just like, I know the songs, I did the show. But yeah, it's a little awkward. You were saying that having a bad experience with Annie. Hello, Dolly. It was a horrible experience. 3 directors, 4 choreographers.
3 directors.
Oh yeah, it was ugly. I did a production in like 1997, It was the Jewish Community Theater in Pittsburgh.
The Jewish.
Yeah.
Hello, Dolly.
It wasn't so.
Oi.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It was performed at the Jewish Community Center, but it was certainly not a Jewish production.
Oh,
I wasn't even sick of The Wizard of Oz by the time it opened. And, I mean, you would think, as a munchkin, that, I would probably have gotten sick of Follow the Yellow Brick Road, Follow the Yellow Brick Road, all over the place, but...
You were typecast.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's all
I
about
I can barely see you over the mixing board here.
Should I?
No, you're fine.
Stand up a little straighter.
Did Ernest get your directions?
He did.
Excellent.
And they were relayed through someone else who said that he is lost but near, and he's probably listening to us right now going, stop talking about that coming.
Follow the sound of my voice.
Yes.
Turn
over here.
Turn left right now. Turn left now.
Don't, if there's
no,
a wall.
It's going to be like
it's going to come straight through this window, and I'm going to be pinned up against the
and I will catch it all on tape. It'll be amazing.
You'll get a face full of blood. It'll be just like Sweeney Todd. So, tell us about the drive, Jamie, or Terrence, or Glenn.
I'll turn that one over to Terrence.
No, I'd love to hear Glenn talk about it. Yeah.
I'm tired of talking.
Okay, cool.
Terrence, this is your project. It's something that I've known about for a couple of years, and you've finally gotten it off the ground to a point where you've got a group of 13 performers as it is right now?
About to be 13.
About to be 13. Performing a cappella music with a bit of a technological twist, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this was an idea a couple of years ago, something that I have been kind of mulling over, and I think everybody who directs has projects in the back of their head, especially producers are always thinking, what are the next things I want to work on. And this is a departure for me because it's something that I have experience in, a cappella music, but it's not so much a theater project.
Well, you actually sang with rockapella on tour.
This is true. Something I don't just put billboards up about. But
well,
sure,
but no, you were.
It's okay. This isn't a billboard. This is entirely audio.
This is a radio
little known
show.
fact. Rockapella actually the group has been around too long to have the same members.
It's like Menudo.
It is exactly like Menudo.
Without all the pig intestines.
I was about to say. But very much so. The members change out over time. So the famous folks who sang "Where in the World Is Carmen Sandiego," only one of them is actually still with the group.
To this day.
To this day.
Okay.
But it changes over time, and I had a stint as an understudy while one of them had their spouse having a child. Did a little college tour singing baritone, and can still sing that darn song. It doesn't matter how much you sing, like how many great songs you sing. People are there just to hear you sing one song.
Yes,
it's pretty sad.
I would have been.
But I get it.
When I went to go see the Wiggles, I only wanted to hear him say, "I don't know the Wiggles, sorry."
I was like, really?
Let me dive across the counter.
You need to be a little quicker on the bell.
I'm sorry, it's over there.
Well, move it closer to you.
Well, the question is, do you still want to reach it or not? He's probably going to dive.
No, Terrence can just reach over and smack me,
That's true. Yeah. So anyway, the idea that I had was kind of a processed a cappella sound. So it's still no instruments, but with a kind of an edgier sound than a typical, and it's certainly not barbershop, and it's not even like a collegiate a cappella group that may do some more popular music.
Right.
This is popular in rock music, but with an actual rock edge to it.
Like Pitch Perfect?
Not like Pitch Perfect, but everybody loves Pitch Perfect. Oh
like
dear.
Pitch Perfect.
There she went with that.
I had to do it.
I'd like it to take a departure from that word.
Aka
departure. So we put out some auditions. We got an amazing turnout for auditions. Just a lot of really great singers, and had a good selection to choose from, and narrowed it down. And we've been putting together some pieces to work on a demo, and then start putting together some live performances. And so far, so good. Lots of people asking for a preview, but trying to keep it all held tightly for now.
Understood.
So, but it's going well. I'm sure at some point we'll bring the crew in here and sing something.
That would be very cool. I'll ask Jamie to add to that, but she's got a mouthful of crackers that she's chomping on air.
Can you hear it?
Yes, of course I can hear it.
That's why he's looking at you.
as soon as I hear it go in your mouth, I hear this crunch, and I'm like,
I moved the microphone, and I was hoping to just, suck on the potato chips a little bit, but Never mind. I won't be eating
Well,
potato chips anymore.
we'll take a break in a moment. I'm thrilled to be working with Terrence on this project as well.
Me too.
Third or fourth project, fourth, at least fourth project.
At least.
You and I have worked on together, and Jamie is singing as well. But she's just constantly singing. Ba-da-bow!
Yes,
that's her.
It does have some faces from the theater community.
It does.
You know, Glenn and Jamie, and then also Brendan and Kelly Albright, who've been actually a little bit away from the theater scene, but certainly have a lot of credits around town.
Lysander Abadia, Jonathan Tuwala, who's our friend Joseph from this past summer's production of Dream
and then the lovely Kelly Ward.
And more?
The incredible
More?
Kelly Ward.
More?
The amorous Kelly Ward.
Amorous?
Wait, I should tell you about that. No, I knew that would stop.
We're going to take a break so I can figure out what Terrence meant by amorous. But come on back. We're going to hopefully have some guests here in a few
And
moments.
no more chopping.
And we'll catch you in a moment. This is Curtain Call.
Hey, it's Andrew Keenan Bolger. I play Crutchy in Newsies, and you're watching Curtain Call with Erik and Sean.
That's a great crescendo.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Eat now.
Have you heard about?
At least I wasn't like this.
New script.
No.
I'm asking him if I can mention it on the air.
Well, I knew that he met with Erik and Sean and Angela, but I think that's for Super Summer. I don't know what they promote or pitch, but I'm sure I could get Erik to tell me at some point, but not something we could discuss here. So, but yeah, if Troy has something he want to talk about.
Oh, it's not something he even wants to talk about. I just think it's an interesting script idea, and so I'm asking him for permission to mention it because I can't even say it right now because that'll end up on YouTube.
Everybody's really super secretive. Maybe I'll just turn all the other cameras off. I'll eat potato chips into this one. You guys can talk.
Well,
he says I can mention it. Okay. Great.
Can I have a Reese cup? Or are they all gone?
They're all gone.
I mean, dang it.
Aww.
YouTube.
Oh, those are just Lay's chips?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have anything to cut that banana into appropriate slices?
You can't
just eat
one, but...
Sure.
Come on.
You want a banana?
Are you sick and tired of your garage door going up but never coming down or going down and coming back up on its own?
He should have never let me have control of the camera.
I'll sing Where in the World is Ernest
Custom
Hemmings?
Hardware Doors.
Do it!
They are your one-stop shop for garage doors, garage door openers, and repairs. Great service deals all the time.
Are we almost back?
Also, you can't be Custom Hardware Doors and not do
I'll
fire
do
service.
one more.
Quality, wood burning and gas-fired
So 45 seconds after.
fireplace inserts and stoves, chimney systems, and accessories. Custom Hard features the best brand names in the business, including the LiftMaster garage door openers with their new keyless entry with fingerprint.
Oh yeah, we're exciting during the commercial break right now because usually we no. I had some Taco Bell on the way over.
Call Custom Hard Door at 657-1280. That's 657-1280.
Are you shooting me with a banana gun? What the heck?
Awesome.
That's custom-hard.com.
Add some sound effects, huh?
Sure.
That's where you insert the sound effects.
You got an camera on you with your aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
I want you to act out this commercial.
What? With the banana?
That's right.
With the banana? Shh. Hush your mouth. Just talking about a banana.
Uh-oh.
Don't forget to mention the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That was abrupt. Nice editing.
Los Angeles Clippers, and you will receive a 25% discount.
Yay, Clippers! Woo!
Emporium located on the
Oh, it's deja vu. Hey, we're talking about the banana.
Thank you for coughing right as I was coming back in from commercial. You had like 2.5 minutes to cough, and as soon as I hit your mic, you're like, "Rah!" Perfect timing. Very perfect timing.
Hey, at least it wasn't another giant chomp on a chip for me.
Yeah, I don't know what. Have you two never been on this radio program before? And coughing and chomping.
We just want to make you look really good.
Oh, please. That you don't. No, I don't think that's possible. That's all. Abadia. Yeah. Our friends over there at Las Vegas Theater Arts Production Show do a great job every week of bringing some different perspective of the theater from the Las Vegas community. They do some reviews, as we're wont to do every once in a while, but Erik and I tend to have a little bit more open discussion with things going on in town. But they have a list as well from their site as far as current productions and audition notices, so you can certainly check them out at lvtaps.com. You can also check their archived programs on Stitcher. You can also help support them financially by buying stuff on Amazon. So shout out to my friends Max, Ben, Lysander, and the lovely Carolyn over there at LVTaps.
And that's cool that you can actually like go to Amazon via their link and then buy something and it kicks them some stuff.
Yeah. And they've got a 2-year anniversary show coming up January 30th.
It seems like I just barely started listening to them, and I thought it was like the 3rd show when I started listening to them, and it was, but now it's already been like 2 years.
Oh yeah. They last year they did a live show at the Onyx Theater, and they're going to do that again. So January 30th. I'm not sure the exact time, but it'll be an evening fun fest. Hopefully. I was drunk last year at it, so I don't remember it a whole lot, but I was apparently funny.
But they remember you.
They certainly do. Yeah, I don't know who I was sitting with. I think I was sitting with our friend Anthony Barnaby, and just being.
I missed it, unfortunately.
I was being a
being Glenn.
I was. Yeah, there's a problem with me.
There are many problems with you, but that's a different episode of the show.
So while we're talking about problems, you can also listen to us on the web, right?
Yeah, you know what? That is true. You can stream the show live. There's the KSHP.
Just in case your radio's not working. That's true.
Well, those of you who have your little transistor radios tuned in.
If you're listening to us on a radio that's not working, you can also tune into us by turning off your radio that doesn't work, booting up the computer, and going to kshp.com.
Yeah, stream the show live. You can also download the iPhone app and do it that way. Or if you like watching the crazy antics that happen here.
We're super crazy today.
Oh yeah, very super crazy.
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah, catch us coughing and eating chips and playing with bananas off the air. You know, the only
I'm playing with bananas.
All right, now we can't speak English. All right.
Jamie's hitting a banana with
the double. Oh, there it is.
Our shows are archived on YouTube for
Unfortunately.
for as long as they will allow us to do this show. And did the batteries die on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. So the Jamie cam is off. Oh well. So it's just you and me, Terrence.
Yes.
Actually,
And
it's just you, which is even better.
Just me? Oh yeah. How's it going?
Unless this is still recording. Hello.
No, but I've got.
No, that one is both of you right
Okay.
now. I've got solo and.
Is that one actually pointing at Terrence? You can.
Yeah, I can see both of you in that one.
Cool.
And that's the one that's on right this second. So that
fantastic!
You
So we can sit there and arm wrestle.
Do it! Oh.
Left-handed?
No,
it's not. What is the sound of arm wrestling?
What is the sound of one listener on their broken AM radio?
If a listener is listening in the woods and they can't listen,
Ernest Hemmings,
are they listening?
if you are listening, make a U-turn. You probably went too far.
Yeah, we're over here on the corner of Jones and Sahara, the northeast corner behind the 7-Eleven in the strip mall area. The big sign that says KSHP AM 1400. I do hope you make it here, Ernest. But
we're happy to keep talking too.
We are happy to keep talking.
We'll keep you here in spirit.
I was thinking about something funny when you mentioned our friend Anthony.
Really?
I know.
Anthony and funny in the same sentence.
I know. Only in Las Vegas, like, most of the community theaters around the nation, it's, an evening affair for people that have day jobs.
Sure.
But only in Las Vegas do you have such an unusual diversity of day jobs. And I was just thinking, like, you know, our friend Anthony, you know, performer by the evening, improviser, funny guy, plays the piano. What's he do for the daytime? He designs graphics for slot machines.
Oh, does he?
He designs the graphic panels on slot machines. It's ridiculous.
That's right. And Anthony hosts a show every Wednesday over at Theater 7.
That is correct.
I've never been over to one of those shows.
They're a lot of fun. It's an all audience participation theater improv show, very similar to the one I hosted, the Happy Hour Improv Jam. And they alternate Wednesdays between doing short form, like Whose Line Is It Anyway, and long form improv, but it's all audience participation.
Really? I could go over and play?
Yes, absolutely.
On Wednesdays?
On Wednesdays.
Awesome.
I believe it's $10. It may even be
Wait, I
less
have to
than
pay
that.
to play?
You have to pay to get in.
Oh, I see.
But once you're in, then if it's the first time there, they put a V on your forehead, something like that. I'm kidding, that's Rocky Horror.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that either. Apparently, I'm not a theater person.
If you go to the shadow casts of Rocky Horror, if you're a virgin, and...
Well, I was, and I didn't get a V.
Because you probably didn't tell anyone.
You keep it secret,
The smart people, you know, will never go in there and say, it's first time here! And then you get, you know, indoctrinated into the...
Insanity?
Yeah. But Anthony's been doing really well with the improv show there at Theater 7. And of course, every Monday night over at the Onyx is still having the set, which is hosted by Improv-Vegas, where local improv troops get up and perform, and I miss it terribly. So I have to be on the radio and do my improv shtick.
I just have to revive free beer for you.
That would be very nice.
All right, I'll work on
I've had some people inquire about it.
I have two.
That would be cool.
It's mostly the people that were in it that have been inquiring about it, I'm sure.
I've heard some outside.
That was a lot of
Bill Phillips, if you're listening. Bill Phillips. Our friend Troy Hurd has been working on a new script.
Oh, fantastic. The last one was Summer Camp, the musical that he wrote, directed, and Angela Chan did the music for. So he's got a sequel to that?
No,
Okay.
no. I have to be honest. Summer camp is not really my thing. I'm not a huge I can enjoy camp as much as the next person, but that's what's wrong with Pitch Perfect to me. Like with all the people saying, "Oh, it's the best movie ever." No, it's not.
It's cute,
pleasant movie.
It's cute.
It's Mighty Ducks for acapella is what I keep saying.
Yeah, and I don't like your analogy.
Excuse me.
Preemptive bell ring for her saying that. But
it's the quack attack.
It's not for everyone.
Jerk.
You know, it's not for everyone.
Flying V, flying V.
So summer camp, I was like, it's not really my thing.
Sure.
But I'm a little excited when I heard about what his next project is. He's actually getting ready for a reading right now.
Okay. So
Cherry Orchard of the Living Dead.
All right.
That's very exciting to
Wait,
me.
what? Cherry Orchard of the Living Dead?
Yes.
Not Night of the Living Dead, or
not the
it's
Cherry Orchard.
It's the Cherry Orchard meets
Okay.
Night of the Living Dead.
So taking kind of like the Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters and
yes,
and Pride and
Abraham
Prejudice
Lincoln,
and Zombies.
Vampire.
Oh yeah, what's the new one? Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters.
Yes.
Shoot me.
No, yeah, I agree.
Oh, with the banana even.
Yeah, no, not excited about that either. Sorry.
Okay.
But I am excited about Troy's new project. I'll be very curious to see what he does, and he has a good track record for his writing, so that's good.
Well, Cherry Orchard's already been written, so...
Well, sure, but not like this. So
That's true.
It's
Well, so Troy's got to throw in some grunts and brains, cherries.
I knew you were going to say that. But I mean, in some way, like I had a similar kind of mashup project a couple of years ago. I did something called the Xmas Carol that was pretty well received at the Stage Door Theater.
Yes, it was. And you had a secondary one to follow up with it that never.
I did.
made it
I
out.
had a few, but still, that idea of taking contemporary things and placing them into other stories is an interesting concept, and I'm glad to see somebody else doing something similar.
Good. Well, I certainly wish best for Mr. Troy KDK or whatever. I'm not sure who.
I don't think he took.
I don't know who's
Mr. KDK.
Mr. KDK. Yeah.
Mr. Troy K.
Mr. Troy K.
Katie heard. She heard what? What did she hear? She heard.
She heard Troy K.
I'll just ring the bell myself.
Yeah,
Thank you. Sorry, I'm messing with the batteries still.
Oh no, I realize you are. So as long as the cameras are rolling somewhere.
No, that one's like facing out the window looking for the guy to
Ernest
come.
Hemmings, if you're still listening, you're probably near State Line. You've gone the wrong direction on the 15.
If you see a sign that says Pahrump Keep going.
Yeah, don't stop there.
Yeah, don't stop in. Well, you might want to stop in Pahrump. Who knows?
Over the hump to Pahrump?
Yeah.
Ow.
Don't know about
Hold on. I will make the lunge for that.
Thank you.
I didn't invent that phrase.
It doesn't matter. You said it.
Yeah, and Terrence, you're currently working still over there at Absinthe, and
with all the crazies. Yes, I am. We were just
All the
featured
crazies.
on, of all things, the Mixed Martial Arts Awards.
Oh, fantastic.
Which will be airing this week on Fox on the 20th. But it was filmed at the Joint at Hard Rock. And I felt like it would have been better if I knew anything about MMA.
Yeah.
All I know is that they can kind of mix everything: judo, boxing.
Yeah, basically, you know,
But I couldn't tell you
can-
anything else, and I've never watched any, and I don't know anyone's names, and I'm surrounded by all these big, huge, muscular guys who look like they could crush me in an instant, and they probably could. And everyone's like, "You're so lucky," and I'm like, "I don't know any of these people."
Yeah. But you know, you meet you know, Neil Patrick Harris and other people like who.
This is true. This is true. Neil Patrick Harris comes to Absinthe. We put him on a high wire, and everyone's like, "Who's Neil Patrick Harris? How do you not know this?"
If it's working, push button 3 on it. Are you on?
We're having technical difficulties.
Well, no.
Please stand by.
No, I'm a blank screen right now.
Oh, you're blank screen.
Yeah, well, it's white. Now it's turned
That
on.
sounds like an acting exercise.
So
Can
now
we
you
try
see
that?
yourself.
Ooh, look, Rivetar.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see myself now.
Can we
Okay.
try that?
Hold on.
A little acting exercise for our radio listeners. I am a blank screen.
I am a blank screen. What am I supposed to do now?
I don't know. Look to see if it's recording then.
Oh, yeah, it's recording.
Okay, good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry.
No. I should have waited till break to mess around with that, but
Yeah, that's what I thought we'd do, but
I'm OCD, very OCD.
I love my
I'm
favorite
so-
part is the fact that you didn't see that you're on video giving me hand signals from
Well, that's the fun part about watching the archives on YouTube. My daughter says it all the time. She's like, I'm so OCD, I have to keep it alphabetized. So she's really CDO. You know what? We're going to take a quick break because some vagrants just walked in and we have to call security. So hang tight. You're listening to Curtain Sheath with Glenn Heath.
That's awesome. What's up? How you doing?
Go ahead and grab the chair from the other side.
Is there a restaurant?
Yes, straight back.
Great service deals all the time.
No idea what
Also, you can't be custom carton door and not do fireplace.
Weird.
They provide high quality
I don't know.
wood-burning and gas-fired
You guys good on the
fireplaces,
chairs?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're good.
stoves, chimney systems, and accessories. Custom Heart features the best brand names in the business, including the LiftMaster
Hello.
garage
How are you, Sam?
openers.
Doing fantastically well, thank you.
Terrence Williams, Sam Craner,
Cramer,
Jamie Woodard.
Hello. Met you for sure.
Did they want one of these?
It's not necessary. They'll just need to, whenever you're talking, you need to put your mouth into that.
You didn't hear. So you had to pass it back and forth.
Yeah. Pass the mic.
It's a Beastie Boy song.
Pass the mic.
Yeah.
Clarissa coming? Clarissa. I thought it was Clarissa.
She explains it all.
Clarissa.
She explains it all. I'm late to the party. Boom.
Throwback.
Remember how this works?
Yeah, kind of. It's like you talk to the thing when it's your turn. Kind of thing.
Yeah, just,
Do you want us? We should move it, right?
yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm.
Unless you want to kiss.
Can we just
It's just an option.
right here?
You could do that.
The viewing audience would love it.
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
audience would be like,
whatever you guys want to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just
All this and
make fun
more.
of it?
Clockwork Orange.
Right?
If you see it, we won't make out. We won't do that.
That's an official rule of the show.
Woof, woof.
You're gonna run another break in about 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, about 30 minutes.
Okay, that's when I'll change the CD over.
Oh, sweet. You want to change it over at 7?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll do another break in 15.
Okay.
We'll come back after the spot. I wasn't intending to do a spot, but you guys came in and figured it'd be a good time to. Because I was running out of shit.
You were just apparently lost. You're just pulling stuff out.
Look at the window. I want a beer. We need to have another sexy fun times. Late night recording.
A big bottle of scotch again.
Was that? I missed that time.
Oh yeah,
Was it great?
when we had cockroach here, we had Erica and Erik.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
And Jessica.
It was curtain balls under the
I saw
sheet.
Jessica today. Jessica Hurd came to see.
She keeps thinking she sees me places, and she's like, "Was that you?" And I'm like, "No."
All right, we are back, and in the studio with us, some very good friends of mine, or at least one of them's a good friend, and the other one's here too. My friends,
which we will never know.
Yeah,
I think
my
I'm
friends.
putting 5 on. You're the
Brand-
friend and you're the nobody.
I'm just a yeah.
Brandon McClenahan and Sam Craner here representing QuadraNine.
Craner.
It's Craner.
Kramer? You know what?
How
Craner.
long have you known him?
You know what? I've never used your last name. Sorry, bro. I always thought
Probably better.
Yeah.
You know,
So
keeps my
say it, because
life a
confused.
secret.
Craner.
Craner.
Craner. As in the
Crane your neck.
Operator of a crane.
Yes.
The craner.
one who operates a
The folder of
As in-
origami.
as
The
in-
craner.
Not Kramer.
Kramer was the guy on Seinfeld. My apologies, Sam. I've known you for what, 5 years, and you know I still pronounce.
It's okay.
Every day.
I have to look. Let's put it this way: I've worked with Brandon on at least 5 projects. Every time I spell his name, I have to look it up.
Hey, yeah, I've known him for like what 10 years, and yeah, I still messed that up. We had that discussion today.
Yeah. Exciting.
Good story. Good story.
Welcome back to the theater, Brandon. You've been here a couple of times, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
We had you in here when you were doing Love Song, and
We did.
and you dropped the big ball on QuadraNine's Inception.
Indeed. Yeah.
And your first production is just about ready to come out the gates.
Getting ready, about 2 weeks out now. Yeah.
Yeah, which is fantastic. The posters are up at the Onyx.
Indeed.
And tell us a little bit about how it's going. For those that aren't aware, Brandon is directing A Clockwork Orange, a play with music. We'll say the comparable, because we can compare Sandy Stein. But Sandy's doing some original music for you, and guaranteed to blow your mind, I'm sure, because Sandy has some. You two have a very nice connection. You two being able to say, "Well, I want something to go," and Sandy knows exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah, I always make the joke with people, because they'll be like, Sandy and I we end up having this great, third language with each other, but I try to explain just how brilliant he is, because really, at the end of the day, I come to him and I'm like, all right, so I need something that's like it's always a dark carnival. It always starts with it's like a dark carnival, and then I just list a long list of sound effects almost, and then he turns that into music, and then he'll hand it to me, and I'm like, that is exactly what I was asking for, but I don't know how he gets it. He
just gives you the same piece of music every time.
Every time. Yeah. I'm really easy to please.
Glenn, you'll never know. I just played it backwards, and he's like, it's awesome.
But yeah, and man, he's this is my, I'm gonna say at least 4th show now that I've done with him as my sound designer, and he's obviously brilliant. But I really think he's outdoing himself yet again. Every time I'm always wondering when we're gonna hit that ceiling, and I don't think we have yet. He's...
Well, if he starts doing wingtip shoe, you know he's run out of ideas.
Have you met him? Well, be sure to ask him next time.
Yeah. Terrence knows Sandy from back in the improv days with Free Beer, because Sandy was one of the cast members of that, as I was. But Wingtip Shoe was Sandy's fallback character, so whenever Sandy had no idea what to do on stage with an improv scene, Wingtip Shoe came out.
Oh, it's Wingtip Shoe!
Anyway, so QuadraNine's first production opens January 25th.
25th, yes, sir, 8 o'clock.
And all your shows are 8 o'clock?
All right, all of our shows from January 25th to February 10th, or February 9th are at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So, and then we have
And that's Thursday through Sunday? Or Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
And then our closing show on February 10th is at 2 p.m.
Okay.
So there won't be an 8 o'clock show that night.
So just 2 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, so 9 performances.
Yep.
Fantastic. And you've got a huge cast. doing twice as many roles as that cast.
Yeah, there's written dialogue characters. There's at least 30 or so, and included characters like stage direction characters, like assistants, and the press people, and there's well over 40. And we have an 18-member cast that just blows doors down there. It's an incredible group. And yeah,
who's in the show?
Everybody. Yeah, no, we have met Gary Lunn, Taylor Haynes, Breon Janae, Tony Foresta, Gio Nichols,
got
Carissa Kim Glover,
Scott Gibson,
Carlton,
ukulele,
Mike Pemberton, Anthony Turciano, Steed Corella. Steed, our good man. You were in a show with our good man Steed.
And it was funny because I was at a Sweeney Todd rehearsal, and Steed comes walking into the Onyx rehearsal space with food and water and his flip-flops and his expression, which you have to know Steed to know what that expression is.
He always shows up with like 6 pizzas.
And he's just a very generous individual, and theater is not really his main forte, but he steps into it every once in a while.
You should see him play the role. It is, when he came in and auditioned, all of us were just sitting there like, dude, Steed just like came in for this role and took it from like actors that are just do this for a living and stuff. Like, just came in and nailed it. It was hilarious. I love Steed.
And he has a very good presence on stage. So it's going to be fun to see. And what can you give away? I mean, obviously it's Stanley Kubrick's one of his well-known pieces, but it's not the movie.
Right, yeah. Stanley Kubrick made the movie, and when he first conceived his script, he was not aware of a 21st chapter in the book. It wasn't published in the original publications in America. And Anthony Burgess was not happy about that and made sure that he got the 21st chapter sent to Kubrick. Kubrick read it, hated it, threw it out, and ended the movie where he did. As far as the book goes,
and to correct, Anthony Burgess is the author.
Anthony Burgess is the author of the book and the author of this play. He jokingly, actually probably truly stated that he wrote this to curb other amateurs trying to write a stage version of his work based off of Kubrick's movie as opposed to his book. And so one thing that we could... a little bit.
Well,
but he was, and it's weird because originally when I came into this, I was very much on Stanley Kubrick's side, and by the end of it now, I'm very much see Anthony Burgess' point of view in that once you really get to explore the character of Alex, there's the major theme of the book is adolescence. It's, the choice thing is wrapped up in that, but it's based about, the things we go through when we're young, and there's a maturity out of that occurs at the end of the book that doesn't occur in the movie, and it's the full character. It's one of the greatest novel characters ever written, in my opinion, and you get the full story of the character. Kubrick did a fantastic movie based on the idea of choice. He made choice to drive, and in that pursuit he was immensely successful, but I think the character of Alex suffered. And in the play, we get to see that full arc. We get to see the resolution at the end, the character's actual finale, instead of being cut short a little bit.
And you're maintaining a lot of the graphic violence and
aversion therapy.
And even dystopian structure. But you're doing something unique. Your lead actor is not an actor.
That's true. Yes, Alex the Large, the male character, Alex the Large, is played by Carissa Berge. I always say it wrong. Carissa Berge. I always say Berge. She is playing a male character, but it is indeed a female in the role.
Oh, okay. So she is playing a male. Okay.
Absolutely. Alex the Large. The gender of the character is retained.
Because that would change
my
the story
intention.
a little bit.
It wasn't about making it a coming of age story about a young girl in this dystopian, as you stated, society or anything like that. Not that the themes, in my opinion, are mutually exclusive to the sexes or anything, but at the same time, I think it's important that we as storytellers in theater, keep intact things like that.
Now, have you? I've never had the opportunity, very briefly, I guess, with Cannibal at the Plaza, very briefly, working with Carissa. Are you allowing her to maintain some feminine qualities?
I would say I would have, but she didn't necessarily let me. She hit it pretty hard, man. She started showing up with her
Facial
beanie
hair.
on and talking.
She grew a beard,
talking a little Cockney
She
slang.
could borrow my mustache.
And we did a little body work with her to get her into her shoulders and getting into that boy center of gravity. But she picked that up right away, and I mean, when she starts working, it's pretty remarkable. I mean, if you know Carissa, she's kind of more on the timid side of the timid thing.
Which knowing very little of her, it seemed like a very interesting choice that you made.
Man,
and obviously,
powerful.
yeah,
she really. I mean,
you obviously
it's a
see
trip to
something
watch.
that I've never seen yet, so it's going to be.
It's a treat. I'm really looking forward to sharing this show with everybody. It's growing monumentally every day right now. It's at that point now where it's just like I can't express how lucky I am. The cast that we have is full of amazing people, most of which I've worked with many times. Some of them it's my first, but I mean I have no problem calling it an all-star cast. I mean, everybody is absolutely hitting and swinging for the fences. But then on the other side, the design team, I mean, Kit Rogers, our costume designer, is doing something I've never seen done, you know what I mean, in the way that we're attacking it.
Now, who do you have doing your set? Do you have Tim Burris?
Tim Burris is doing our set. He and I are working out the final kinks in that situation right now, but it's I mean, even it's something new. And
What is Sam doing, other than sitting next to you?
my assistant director.
Oh!
Here, I'll let you talk to him.
Yeah, please. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Glenn. How you doing?
I'm doing
Glenn
well.
Health. Right?
Health, yes. Or Glem.
Glem.
Yeah. My name was spelled recently. Somebody decided, those two N's. We'll just mash them together to save space.
Glem.
We'll create an M out of it.
I want to call you Glem.
Glem, whatever. I'll respond.
It'll be our
really
thing
easily.
now.
Sam. Sam was recently in the acclaimed production of Pillow Man over at LVLT, swapping the role with our co-host Sean Critchfield, who blew us off today. Thanks, Sean.
By the way, quick interruption. Ernest Hemmings, if you're listening, you're probably about at Baker, so if you see that thermometer, I'm telling you, make a U-turn. You can make it back before the show starts.
Ernest, I hope you have snow chains. And if for some reason you don't make it in, Ernest, we will definitely get you on next week. That's funny. So Sam, you've directed before, I'm presuming.
I've assistant directed a lot with Brandon. I did Henry V.
So why don't you get out of his shadow?
Oh, dude, it's because it's so warm, you know.
Jeez. I joke, Sam.
We were talking about kissing earlier. Maybe
they were
together.
They were.
Our knees are touching right now.
Yeah.
Wait, close up.
Where's your camera?
Oh no, it's okay.
And Sam is a fantastic character actor, and I use the term character actor because you do tend to gravitate towards those roles. And I've seen some very wonderful productions from you. Why direct? I mean, obviously, there's plenty of roles in this show that you could have eaten alive. At least one or two. Oh, you have to watch what Brandon was doing
you should
on
assistant
YouTube.
direct this.
Yeah. What's the draw? I mean, knowing working with Brandon, I know what the draw is from a general standpoint. But as far as ADing, I mean,
well, it started with RUR. I assistant directed for that. Just because scheduling kind of.
I don't remember you doing any directorial stuff for that.
Well, you were just so good. Yeah. And shut up, man. And but no, I was AD for that. And is that bad? I'm sorry.
No, the bell was for me. I get the bell a lot.
But no, and then more than that, we did Little Prince, and it really seemed to be like a perfect combination because Brandon is always doing these grand plays with like this big vision, you know. So it's this big like broad strokes, and it takes like a lot to just come up with like all this different stuff and then put it back together. And so really like what I try to do is just like the little things, you know, make sure people memorize, you know, run their stuff, and then just like really like, okay, well this reaction, I know it's like subtle, but we need to do this. Okay, when you take this punch, you need to be able to just sag your body and just little stuff, and then it kind of just works out that way.
And like I said, I do give you a hard time, especially you know, having seen Little Prince and Warmouth as well. The two of you on stage together for that one, and you do both work really well together. You even went to school together.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So good. No, that's great, Sam. Are you doing any of the characters in the show as well? Or?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
I kind of got a new job, so I kind of don't have time to be able. I can't like guarantee my time.
Understood. Do you want to give your job a free plug?
Do you do anything interesting, like design graphics for slot machines?
I work at Wyndham Vacation Ownership.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A lot of
in-house marketing. I send people upstairs to get educations on their ownership at Wyndham.
Okay. Timeshare stuff.
Vacation ownership.
Vacation
so,
ownership. I'm sorry.
He might do your paperwork, right?
Yeah, I will. I'm no. See, I just started and probably gonna get fired over paperwork. But whatever, you know.
Whatever.
I still.
There's always other shows.
You know, there's always free things.
Get out your paperwork, Wazowski.
I can't do it, obviously. Thank you, Glenn.
You're all right.
Well, what's been your greatest challenge for this for you, Sam? Because knowing Brandon, he's had this in the back of his mind for a long time. At least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I mean, but there's that. I know the two of you probably have some of that sort of sixth sense going on between you. But what's been the hardest thing? I mean, obviously there's a lot of actors to corral, and schedules have got to be a nightmare. If you even have gotten to the nightmare part of scheduling.
Oh, buddy. Boy, have we.
Yeah, I mean, scheduling's hard. I mean, especially with Sweeney, there's a lot of people who are also in Sweeney Todd and this. So, like Scott, we haven't even seen him all but once, twice.
3 times a lady.
That's what I hear. Perfect. So,
there you go.
But really, I've read this book and I've seen the movie a million times. I love Stanley Kubrick, and so the biggest thing for me is like trying to really get into what Anthony Burgess, the show he wrote with music and all that, really trying to see, and Brandon got into immediately, and I was, I come in all the time and it's well, in the book it says, but for this show it's it's perfect, Brandon has it perfect with this show, exactly what it's written, how it's going to be, and yeah, so it's been kind of getting into that vision, and I think it works too at the same time, I always know what happened in the book, so it's hey, this character, you don't do it in the play, but you are actually a rapist.
So to give the characters some of the motivation beyond what may be in the book.
Just little things.
I don't mean to cut you off, Sam, but we are talking with Brandon McClenahan and Sam Craner with the QuadraNine production of A Clockwork Orange. We need to take a quick break so our engineer Chris can change the archival disc, optical disc as it's called in the technical world, CD to all you laymen out there. I'm not sure who was snoring, but wherever that bell is ringing. We will be right back in a few moments. This is
Curtain Wealth with Glenn Health.
Okay, I like that one. All right.
Yeah. Do I have time to hit my cigarette twice?
What's that?
How short is this break?
You need to go smoke
Just a couple bucks.
Go for it.
Whales.
Banana guns.
No, that's a joke. So I've never met either of them.
Check out Town Square's new hotspot.
I've never worked with them or anything.
Served all day long till closing. Formerly known as Cadillac Ranch, the new Ranch House Kitchen has brought entirely whole new energy to the upper level of Town Square's restaurant row, located directly across from the Ray movie theater. Everyone's welcome at Ranch House Kitchen because they cater to all size parties, families, and business gatherings. 3 full bars, their favorite alcoholic beverages, and if you bring the kids 12 and under, Monday through Friday, they eat free. Everybody's invited to ride the mechanical boat for fantastic food, drinks, and a great atmosphere. Head down to Ranch House Kitchen, 6593 Las Vegas Boulevard.
It's very exciting for the YouTube viewers.
Oh, I know.
All of us are on their phones.
All grabbing our phones.
I'm having to text.
I have a message from Erik just so you know.
Okay.
Eric says, I owe you all a drink. Can you tell Glenn? Well, considering him old. There you go. So. Have I ever seen you drink?
Oh, good. You ever seen me drink?
No, but
No,
I've
Eric.
seen Eric drink. He said he owes us a drink.
From my flask?
What's that?
Okay. I have a flask. Is it already been drinking?
I'd take a pull from your flask. What do you got in there, James?
James, you know me. Is there any other? Jamie.
Thank you, sir.
See my new tattoo? Just show you.
What's that?
Just show you.
I saw it just now.
Curtain inks and lots of drinks.
My new tattoo.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
We're apparently watching Iron Man on FX.
I was
Do that
wondering
again.
what it was earlier.
Do that again. Cheers.
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 Banana gun.
Thank you. I mean, there's all that space over there, and you're just all up on it.
I just would
I have
prefer
a
to
wall.
touch your.
Keep it tuned right here to the Sports Voice of Las Vegas. AM 1400 KSHP, North
Cheers.
Las Vegas.
This is Sarah Salzberg from Soundby, and you're listening to Curtain Call with Eric Ball.
Calm down. It'll get your fix.
All right. I want to give a little thanks to Jameson's Irish Whiskey for clearing my throat. We're in the studio today. Sean and Eric are out today. Eric had to take care of a little emergency with the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee audio, and so he wasn't able to make it in. But if you get the opportunity, please go see that show. Support the kids over there. This is their production, and they did a fantastic, amazing job. Next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there's alternating casts with the female roles. But
I'll be making a special.
A smash.
A smash. A smash. Smell special.
A smelling appearance.
Yes.
Wow. Who drank the
wants to
Jamesons?
see
My
that.
goodness.
I apparently can't press a button and speak at the same time.
So now you understand my problems when I sit back there every week in the corner. Jamie Woodard.
You like the corner.
I do like the corner. Jamie Woodard is visiting once again, one of our regular guest hosts. Pushing buttons over there. Pushing my buttons. The very silent Terrence Williams, who had a lot to say before our guest showed up. He's been texting Ernest Hemmings, sending him Lord knows where, probably to pick up his dry cleaning.
I've been texting Eric as well, who's like, what the heck are you doing?
No.
But I have been texting
Eric knows what the heck we're doing. Eric has sat in this
Eric
spot.
doesn't want to know what the heck we're doing.
You know what? I started off last week's show with a horrible innuendo, so I'm actually doing better this week.
You put the Eric hat on.
I
It must be the chair.
You look good on that side.
A horrible
Yes. Yes. Whatever.
Wow. Okay, and
Thank you.
hold up. There we go.
There it is.
But joining us this hour. Oh, that was cute.
That was really cute.
You have to see. You have to see what they did on YouTube.
I'm not wearing anything but rain boots.
We call them Wellingtons in the studio.
Is that in honor of like the pantsless subway ride in New York? You're like, I'm going pantsless to Curtain Call.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry I missed that.
to say. Yeah, we could totally use that.
Yeah.
That's
what it was.
That's what exactly what it was.
My friends Brandon McClenahan and Sam Craner, director and assistant director for the upcoming QuadraNine production of A Clockwork Orange, a play with music, Wonder Twin powers.
I was just gonna say it's Wonder Twin powers.
You two are very good friends and have worked together on stage more times than I know of. And I've had the pleasure a couple of times of being with you guys in productions. And Clockwork Orange is a huge undertaking no matter what the situation. And Brandon, you've cast a number of people you've worked with, which you know what they're going to bring, which is always a luxury that a director has to be able to go, okay, I know what this person's going to bring, and I know what they're capable of doing, so these are the roles that they could look at. How difficult was it, though, for you to cast 39 characters?
Hardest casting I've ever done, yeah.
I can imagine.
To this date.
And to the extent that you still had it easy with a lot of people, you knew what they were going to be able to do.
Absolutely.
And I'm guessing you did have enough people I mean, you weren't calling people or scraping actors. They say, I will never work with Bob again. And Bob, I need you.
Yeah, I only called one person
Right.
and begged, just one. But I did beg one person, and he's in the show. But yeah, no, it was man. The talent that showed up. It was. I mean, the audition was fun. My auditions, you may attest, can get weird from time to time. I don't.
I like your auditions because your auditions are non-traditional. You don't know what you're going to get, and you're the kind of director that I appreciate doing different things because you have a specific thing that you're looking for out of your actors, and you will push them in weird directions to see if they're capable of giving you what you need.
Yeah.
And I would say that that's a generational difference between you and old man Terrence over here.
Oh, yeah?
No.
I don't take offense to that.
No,
every director has their own way of doing it.
And
I
Terrence,
also
you do some
non-traditional
yes, you
auditions
do.
too. It
Yes,
just
you do.
depends on what it is. I'm not going to have kids coming in for Annie and be like, okay, we're doing improv.
That would have been actually, I would have enjoyed seeing 200 little girls improvising scenes.
But I have an appreciation for that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's exactly what we hope directors are doing at auditions, are narrowing down exactly what it is they need and not doing something by rote because it's what we do.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, I mean, a lot of my non-traditional, I guess, if is the good term for it, is I find, like, I like rooting my plays when I start off kind of in this imagination-like concept, like where anything's possible. And I find the actors that I most enjoy working with are able to go there with me, you know what I mean? Where I can be like, you know, with Little Prince, we had 3 rehearsals where we pretty much just played hide and seek in this giant fort that they all built together, and then we did small character exercises with people coming in and out of this fort, playing hide and seek with each other. And a ton of that made it through to the show, and a lot of the stuff that people mention after the show that they're like, oh, I really enjoyed this or this, it all kind of came out of that little stuff. And like Clockwork, for example, we did a thing where it was
You're not doing group rape stuff.
No group rapes. I mean, I invited everybody to my house for a group rape.
Not officially. Anyway.
Okay.
But it's not rape.
It's not part. It's not part of the schedule.
Invite Glenn.
No.
He lost his privileges after the last one.
Last group rape?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. There's like 2 rules, and he broke 3 of them.
I even created a new rule after that one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, I've been lucky, man. I've been blessed to have the people that do show up for my shows come out and work together, and I mean, it's seriously, it knocks me over sometimes when I'm just like, oh God, it's so nice to have the people that you can be like, I need this and I need us to get there, and then they go home and they actually do the work, and like that for me is the key. It's like how hard are you doing the hardest part, the stuff where you're not, you know, surrounded by your, you know, acting friends and in the environment of the theater. Like, how much are you going home, working on your lines, getting them down? You know?
And you had a very short turnaround, so I mean, they were to be off book.
Yeah, I gave them
within like a week.
I gave them a week and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's.
My lead did it.
Well, some of your characters, do you have any doing 3 roles? Or?
Yeah, there's quite a few actually that have 3 roles. And there's very few actors that only have 1 role. Gary Lunn, Taylor Haynes, and Carissa Burgee are the only 3 people in the show that only play 1 role. Everybody else is double or triple cast. I think there's even 1 person that pops up as 4 characters. Aaron Barry, I think.
Aaron Barry.
The Aaron Barry.
It's Aaron Barry.
The Aaron Barry. How about, he's not handling anything
The
breakable,
gigolo.
is he?
That's what I call him.
Just my heart.
Your heart? Yours and the hearts of like 700 women that fawn for him.
Everybody loves
I got to see Mr. Barry today. He graced.
Yeah, he helped me right before you saw him.
Okay.
He helped me unload my truck. He's
He
such a
helped
nice
you?
guy. Helped me.
Oh, helped you.
He probably would have held me, but he was in a
He would
rush.
have done it.
If I asked. He's a really nice.
Yeah, there's
guy.
a number of our Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat family that was at the performance today, which was nice to see. Edon and
I love you, Don.
Yeah, if you end up doing it again next week,
I
know.
will certainly let people know. If,
I don't think I'll get
if
to go, but I might be occupied with a game.
Okay. Sam is staring at me.
Hey man, how you doing? Things into the microphone and such. Hey. Hey.
So.
That was weird.
Okay.
Thank you.
You can hit the bell anytime.
Yeah, the bell is
not
it's
for
not
me
exclusive to
I'm
Jamie.
gonna just start saying, how about those 49ers?
How about those 49ers?
49ers! Oh!
I knew it.
Oh,
I had a feeling.
Yeah? You're
I'm
a
a 49ers fan, and that was amazing.
What about Brendan?
Falcons fan here.
Watch the Redskins, fan.
Oh,
Watch the Redskins. I can't say
It was
that
only
painful to get to the
it was only
playoffs.
painful
I was
in the
pretty
ACL.
stoked. I was really happy.
Yeah.
Did they ever figure out what his MRI was?
They just did surgery on him a couple days ago. They,
Well, I hope they figured out what
yeah.
it was before
They just
did
kind of got
surgery.
in there and were like, that.
Let's just give him
We're
Adrian
just gonna get a
Peterson's
new
knee.
altogether. Yeah, give him. Yeah, they
Peterson
better send
does-
him to Adrian Peterson's guy.
Yeah.
Because he's amazing.
We're going to fuse your neck and replace your entire hip.
Clone him. It's time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your Redskins.
I'm not. I'm really stoked we made it to the playoffs. We were 5-10 last season.
That's true.
It started the future. It's amazing.
How'd your fantasy? I mean, I hate jumping into sports, but you know,
My fault.
some conversations that never got to finish up. Did you get to slap anybody for
No,
your fantasy football?
Tyler Collinsworth won the slaps. But I took third place, so I'm immune to slaps.
Okay.
Sam is not.
I am not immune to slaps.
Now,
I will get slapped
For people
right in
who
the
are
face.
not
Yes.
sports oriented like me, who's over here going hi, I don't get it.
I don't remember what you based this off of. Was it How I Met Your Mother?
How I Met Your Mother.
An episode there where there was a bet made and the winner got to slap somebody five times. As hard as they wanted, in the
Without
face.
any warning.
Yeah,
Without
with
any
no
anywhere,
repercussion.
anytime.
Yep.
No repercussion.
With no repercussions. And that was your bets for fantasy football.
Fantasy football, yes.
So, Tyler Collinsworth, enjoy the brief...
He has tiny hands.
Yes.
It helps. I mean, they're
Yeah,
tiny.
I really
But he-
feel
but he-
lucky that if anybody was going to win, it was Tyler.
But he has
So-
long arms, so he's got that reach.
Right. It's like getting
It'll
hit
look
by
like
a
a
pool
whip.
cue.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Those are the things almost said. I'm really excited. I'm really curious to see Gary Lund in.
Oh man, his chaplain is incredible.
I have to tell you, the last time I saw him, this was a long time ago. I saw him play Professor Henry Higgins in My Fair Lady.
Oh, wow.
For
awesome.
Signature Productions.
Yeah, he was my
ages
Faust.
ago.
He
So I'm
played
like,
Faust.
this is going to be really interesting. I'm going to see him go from the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain to. I'm like, I can't.
To
imagine.
things that
Right.
you can't say. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, to stuff I can't.
You directed Gary Lund and Faust.
I did, yes.
Did you AD for that?
No.
No.
I was working at Subway.
Ah, eat fresh.
Eat fresh.
I don't know if I've ever met Gary.
That sucks because he is great.
He's great. He's great.
He is
The second I saw him on stage, I was like, I want to work with that guy. He's awesome.
That's I always tell people, just like as a fan of local theater, that the concept of seeing a show that has Gary Lund and Taylor Haynes in it is just like,
well, and
like
that's,
I would never not have to go see that show. I just got so lucky that it's the show I'm directing.
I was going to say you get to see it.
I do, and it is exactly how I expected. I mean, those two guys, they're such forces of theater, and they're each in their own respective way. And it's like when they start working, you can just see the mood in the entire room change. I mean, it's guys like that really push, you know, the young people to strive to get that kind of presence, you know. And it's a sheer pleasure to work with them. Taylor Haynes is, in my opinion, the greatest note taker I've ever worked with. I mean, you give him a note, and that dude takes it and runs with it and does. You know, it really lives out the notes that you almost have to be cautious of like what you say in that respect. But it's like it's an amazing, you know, capacity to work with him.
Sam's laughing at that, and I'm just wondering, you know, an example of a note. It's like, well, I need you to work on the rape scene. All right, I'm okay.
No,
I'm gonna work on it all weekend.
One day he came in and he was like, well, how long has it been since Alex was in jail? So how long has it been since you know, I had encountered him? And I was like, well, I think it's a year, 2 years. And I was like, yeah, I think it's almost like exactly to the day. So this may even be the anniversary of this thing. And he was, and like 2 days later, I came in because I missed rehearsal. And he was all like, cupcake. I have a cupcake
with a
this
candle
with a candle on it because this is her.
Did he really?
Yeah. And
it's in the scene now. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's incredible. No, I'm telling you. Okay, one thing I have to say about Clockwork Orange is there's something that's going to surprise people in this script, and that is this is actually a very beautiful story. It's something that the movie did lack, and you know, a lot of people when they see the movie assume that Alex is a bit of a sociopath, but you know, we get to see him, what he does enjoy. We get to see him in the element of beauty and enjoyment. And then I'm telling you, like, I think there's the quickest turnaround between like a total mind-blowing experience and then everybody in the room crying. Like Taylor Haynes will pull the heartstrings right out of your body in his scenes. He's absolutely incredible. And it's the beauty in this show that is what we as the production are trying to harness into. I mean, set design, costumes and everything, the look of this show is its own world. We created the world that this story takes place in as with some of the best designers I've ever had.
Well, and you've certainly surrounded yourself with people, like I said, that you know what they're going to be capable of bringing, and people you trust. And I don't know what to, I mean, Tim and Kit and Sandy and Sam.
And Jenna Wurzberger.
Jenna, your choreographer. I mean, they're your extended family to a large extent.
Oh, very much so.
For anyone just tuning in, we're talking with Brandon McClenahan and Sam Craner, directors in tandem for the QuadraNine production, the Wonder Twin Power production of Clockwork Orange, the premiere, the very first QuadraNine production.
Also, the Las Vegas premiere of the show itself.
Oh, fantastic!
Yes,
and it's going to be at the Onyx Theater, running for 3 weeks, beginning Friday, January 25th. So right on the heels of Sweeney Todd's closing.
Tickets are available.
That's what I was going to ask. Directly from the Onyx Theater, thre.com.
The correct spelling.
ONYX Theatra.
Did you say THRE?
No.
THEATR.
Yeah, I know how to spell.
I think history.
Do we have an instant replay?
Yeah.
We do.
Theater. The word is
THEATER, or the alternate spelling, the last 3 letters being TRE. But Onyx Theater, TRE.com. Yes. Tickets are available now.
They are on sale online.
All shows are at 8 p.m. except for the closing Sunday, which is a 2 p.m. matinee.
Yes,
how much are they?
They are $20, and I say this in all enjoyment. I have never received such amount of responsive interest in a show before. So I would recommend grabbing your tickets early, and because just based on the amount of response that I'm getting, I anticipate a rather populated run.
And I bring the name Insurgo up because you were our artistic director for the Insurgo, and this is almost kind of the first collection back of a lot of the Insurgo family, as it were, into a show. You've got Gio and Brian and Sam, Tony Foresta, Sandy.
Jones.
Oh, Jonesy is in it as well.
Jones
okay.
is also in the show.
So it's going to be very interesting, and obviously it's a new venture and it's a growth process. Certainly for you taking the helm of your own production, and you're coming along well with the new space that you're building up Northside.
Indeed,
Vegas?
Yeah, I'll be moving in there at the end of the month.
Indeed.
So you know,
the word is indeed.
But your space is going to be kind of an artist's haven, as it were.
That's the idea.
Not quite the. But I can't even think of. What was it down the trailer?
KGPA. Oh, KGPA.
Yeah, the KGPA. Yeah. Some of the same.
Very much inspired.
It's inspired by. Thank you. I think is the right word, but without all the cockroaches.
Indeed. And a little bit better structural building support.
Sure.
And
wait, that's not saying much.
No, it's not.
Building support at the cage and building support where you are.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually they were built by my dad.
Okay.
So they're well built.
Very good.
You know, it's good stuff.
Dads do that.
He's that kind of guy. He's a builder.
So we're looking forward to some great things. Any divulgence of upcoming projects beyond?
Yeah, actually,
right.
I've got in the mix. I'm not setting a date on it yet, but I think the next show that we're going to be tackling after the show will be Marat Sade.
Nice.
And then I'm looking at probably the.
Is that the sequel to the Marquis de Sade?
It's.
You wish.
I don't know.
It's very extreme. It tickles the line of absurdist theater in the sense of how over the top
tickles.
it is. But yeah,
it tickles it.
Yeah, it's I don't know like
Ubu
we did
Roy
Ubu
tickles.
Roy, like
yeah.
it's got that kind of flair to it.
Oh yay, lots of poop.
Right, lots of poop flair. But yeah, and then also, if you recall, we had a late night sketch comedy show called Mother Fuppets.
Yeah.
And we will be restarting our season 2. One of the local music bands here in this music bands. One of the bands here in the city. Dead Hand has supplied an awesome theme song for us, and it kind of remotivated us to get that.
With a theme song, you have to pursue.
Once you have a theme song.
Now, where will you be doing that? At the new space?
I think that's going to be at the new space.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll be. And then the first thing in the new space that our plan is right now is it's a joint venture between an original Playworks competition and a video game tournament. And it's going to be a collection of original plays with video games as themes, comedies, dramas, tragedies, all core around video games.
Okay.
With a cash prize for writers and a cash prize for the tournament. So trying to fuse the genres of, you and I talked about it briefly, but fusing the genres of video game demographic and the theater demographic.
Sure.
I think
that'd be a great way to bring some new, younger audience members.
I think they're like it's a group that I feel like is trained to be artistic critics in a way that they didn't realize. Like when you listen to even what people could consider unmotivated kids talk about video games and their critiques of it, it's no different than when you listen to an actor talk about a play. I mean, there's very technical and artistic things that they expect: visual stimulus, music, storyline, characters. The one thing video games have that I feel like theater is not always involved in is that participatory experience, the idea that we're helping drive that. And so with my plays, with Little Prince, I try to explore that and see how much we can actually make the audience a part of this show.
Sure, absolutely. Well, and to some extent, the three of us worked Inglourious Bastards.
Improvious Bastards.
Improvious. What did I say? Inglorious.
Is that going to be open for submissions?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I will be posting the information on that very soon.
Because I've already decided what I want to write.
Awesome.
I'm not joking.
I have a great thing. I have
a backstory of Link.
I have a really cool one.
If I say it, can I have it?
Yeah, you can. If you say it here, it's yours.
Okay.
Can I tell you mine and see if you like it?
Yeah,
I want
I'll tell you mine.
First, though.
Okay. Leroy Jenkins.
Nice. There you go.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to write a play leading up to Leroy Jenkins. If you've never played video games like World of Warcraft, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about, but I feel like this is a must for me because that's like
bring people that love Leroy Jenkins.
Like penultimate for me.
I have a friend who has a Leroy Jenkins tattoo actually.
Oh my god. That's awesome. Okay, so what's yours?
Mine is it's called the Game Over Bar, and it's all the great superheroes from all the games at this bar, and it's like they only have one life left. Like they've lived a life up to this point where like life meant nothing, because when they died they just came back to life, but now they're down to like their last life. They have no continues left.
So scared to leave the bar.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's like Toad is like sitting in the corner drinking through the whole thing, and he does this big epic monologue at the end when he turns around, like smokes a cigarette.
But Toad.
From Mario Brothers.
No! I'm thinking Frogger.
Yeah.
No.
I grew up in the original Atari days.
See, that's what's fun too. Is it's like that? We were joking around.
I had a Magnavox Odyssey.
How many times can you submit?
Dude, that's what I love about the show. Is it's like I know if it does well, and I anticipate it will. It's such a lovable genre. But it's one of those things we can do several. You know what I mean? Hopefully, every time I talk to writers or theater makers of any kind, most of them are like, "I've got the thing I need to do," and
Now would it be? And again, I harken back to some things that we've been part of in the past together, like the Superhero Diaries.
Yeah.
I mean, is it that kind of concept?
It's that format
where just a short,
5, 10 to 15 minute.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Sides. The concept of a through line was something that we actually finally achieved, I think, with the second Superhero Diaries, where there was almost this all-encompassing show through line, and that's something we're trying to achieve.
Well, and that had to do with some of the because there was the read-throughs of all the different submissions, and they were picked to create somewhat of that through line and organized to flow properly, and when we did the 24-hour Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, 24-hour theater, Abraham Lincoln.
Sci-fi opera.
That was fun. Chowda.
Oh my god, that was so much fun.
But
those are the kind of wonderful things that I expect QuadraNine will be bringing back. And I don't like using the word fringe because I think I don't think that defines it. I don't even know what the proper word is, but you've got a unique grasp on things and very different ideas that aren't being done. So for me, I'm excited that you're stepping back into
it's no Cherry Orchard of the Living Dead.
That is yeah.
No, actually, it's in a similar realm.
But and Troy Hurd taking those risks of doing those kind of things.
Big fan of Troy. We'll be working together soon.
We were just talking about his latest project is the Cherry Orchard.
Yeah. I was.
You were listening?
I was reading a little of that actually, during the Hamlet developmental phases.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
There's another project he's bubbling it, getting on that's really exciting.
I'm waiting for him to finish writing mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I handed the concept to him, so I don't know.
You're just like, get to work, man.
Why did you write it?
No, I know. Well, no, he said he wanted to write it. It's called "You're a Good Man, Charlie Sheen."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They keep pulling the bag of meth away right before
Yeah,
it
exactly.
You're gonna keep it there this time, right? Yeah.
I still want to do the Rocky Horror Muppet Show.
Do that, Mother Puppets. Please do that. Our only rule is that if there's a Muppet in any of our scenes, they have to die horrifically.
Yeah, well,
all of them.
I have.
Yeah, that's how we start our show. It's a little puppet show, and then somebody breaks in and goes, "It's not a effing puppet show,"
Yeah.
and then we rip them apart and cut their heads off.
Yeah.
And
Well, I have my puppet that I trained for Avenue Q with, and
nice.
I'm not bringing that one in.
Well, yeah, that one you can always make a special character in the show. It could be like
I will
the
not
Jesus
die.
of Muppets or something.
The Jesus.
The Jesus of
Jesus.
I
You know what?
am the Jesus of Muppets.
I'm sure there is a Jesus puppet out there somewhere.
I would like to buy one if anybody out there is listening and has one for sale. I could
Call in now.
I could use it in my
If
show.
you'd like to join
Yeah,
the
well, you
conversation.
could call in now. I've never had a phone call to have to answer live on the show, but you could certainly call 221-7283 if you had a question for either Brandon or Sam.
Or you have a Jesus.
Or you have a Jesus puppet. If you have a Jesus puppet, we'd like to know where you bought it.
Yeah.
I'm going to search Craigslist for Jesus puppet.
You may be surprised what you found on Craigslist. 221-SAVE is the number here. Obviously, there's the radio shopping show that's here every day. And maybe they sell Jesus puppets. So listen.
Let's get a coupon for 20% off on Jesus puppets.
Dude, I'll write a new show right now.
Would you?
With a bell.
Would you write a Jesus puppet show?
Right here on the air.
Again, you mean?
Again.
I have one that sits on my mantle. It's my great masterpiece.
If only you had the puppet.
I know. It's hard for an artist in the world today.
So,
Thank you.
So as it turns out, there are no Jesus puppets on Craigslist. However,
eBay?
there are Jesus puppets on eBay.
I bet there's a guy that.
However, I would have to argue that I've never seen a depiction of Jesus that looks like this puppet. I'm going to share, and maybe we can hold it up with the camera.
That's great.
He looks like
Al Jazeera presents Jesus.
No, I don't think so. Like to me, it looks like Dom DeLuise as Jesus. Like I mean, look at that hair; it's crazy.
Is it this one with the purple?
No, it's not actually. It's that one to the right. That. Nope, in the middle. Yep, that.
I looked up
That's
and
terrible.
saw Iron Man. I was like, "What are you filming?"
I don't know.
Yeah,
we're buying it now.
No. Get off that buy now, but
The one I'm looking at,
Can't see
looks
it.
like it's a 14-inch puppet, white robe, purple sash, leather sandals. To me, it looks a little like Jack Black when he did the Proposition 8 video.
Or
that kind of Jesus.
Nathan
look to me.
Lane is Jesus over here.
What was the in Lord of the Rings?
Gandalf?
Oh,
No,
there's
no,
a
no.
Jesus' Muppet sermon on YouTube.
John Rice Davies.
Oh dear.
John Rhys
Rhys Davies.
Gimli.
Yeah, Gimli. It looks like a Gimli Jesus.
I may have accidentally.
It's about the same height.
I can answer them.
I may have accidentally bought a Jesus puppet just now. We'll see.
Awesome.
Are you serious?
We'll check that
Did I
out
hit the
later.
button?
So I'm not sure. We'll
I'm
see.
sorry.
You know what? I'm gonna buy the whole Last Supper puppet collection right now.
Fantastic.
Oh, this one is cool.
Little tiny loaves of bread.
Although the Judas one doesn't come with a puppet hole.
No, and
This would be the one
is
to
that what
buy.
you call that? A puppet hole?
Puppet hole. Get over here. Look at my
I'm
hand
actually a
in
bigger
your
fan of
puppet
rod
hole.
puppets anyway. They don't need holes. So.
If you're a puppet and you
You want to call in?
and you think we're being disparaging towards puppets, by all means, give us a call.
Do we need to take a break?
No.
Okay.
No, unfortunately.
We're
We're all breaking down.
We'll take one final break in about 10 minutes.
Great.
We get 10
Stay
more
tuned.
minutes of Muppets.
Stay tuned for the
break.
next commercial.
Stay tuned for the next one.
Coming up.
Curtain
break.
Curtain call always devolves a little
Ernest
bit.
Hemmings, if you haven't found your way here, just be glad you're not here.
He's riding his bike.
Just celebrate. Smoke a cigar.
Maybe he found the Muppet Jesus, and they all went to Muppet
He passed a
Heaven.
skinny tie store.
What? That was awesome. I actually do get that.
Oh, I'm thinking. I'm thinking Thai. How many Thai
Skinny tie store? They sell skinny tie girls there. They usually are.
He wears a lot of skinny ties.
Oh, he does. He does.
That's the joke I was
All
going.
right. I'm with you.
He rocks them. I don't want that to be misconstrued. The man
Yeah.
looks good in a skinny tie. I'm just saying.
I'll take your
If there
word
was
on
a
it.
sale, I could understand.
I
why he
honestly
wouldn't
don't think I've ever. I don't think I've seen him outside of a theater. So
make it. I never stop thinking about what he's wearing around today.
Interesting.
I'm constantly worried. Sometimes he'll do a bow tie and it'll change my whole week.
Yeah.
You have too much. You have too much time.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
my
that is
goodness.
not true. If everybody has any time that I could buy, I would also buy that from them.
Currently seeking Muppet
Muppets,
Jesus.
Muppet Jesus and some time.
And some time.
Okay.
One may serve
They
the
sell
other.
I think
time
they
at
sell.
Smith's.
Thank
There
you.
go. There you go.
Thank you.
Morris Day is in town a couple weeks.
Where are we?
Who?
Morris Day.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
And the time.
Yeah.
Got it.
Wow.
Flava Flav. Although Flava
Flava Flav could lend you some time.
There you go.
Heck yeah. And some chicken.
And some chicken.
And some chicken. Really?
I ate there. It was terrible.
Really?
Does he? Oh,
Did
yeah.
try it. I'm a Southern boy, so we like.
Does
we
he
have
have his
an
own
affliction for
restaurant?
fried chicken.
Right, yeah.
He opened Flava Flav's House of Flavor. I am not making that name up.
That's for
It's
real.
over by the
Isn't it
Boulevard
Flava?
Mall. It is Flava.
Flava.
I'm not. I don't have enough soul to say the name right.
House of
Clearly.
Flava.
But it's like a chicken shack. Like there are no tables. You have to like walk up to the counter, get your food, and leave. So then you end up eating in your car or in the parking lot, or in my case, sitting on the back of a motorcycle, which is very cool.
He's there
to
a lot, though.
sit and
That's
eat
kinda
chicken.
cool.
He is
I dig
because
that.
he has nothing else to do.
Yeah, he's-
to make money. He has to sell
Nothing
chicken.
but time.
The chicken was terrible. Just saying.
Yeah, he
Okay,
gets
so-
drunk at
Wow.
Steed's bar a lot.
Does he?
Yeah, Steed has a really funny picture of him passed out at his bar with a picture of Steed's whistling CD behind him. He's like, product placement, yo.
Yes,
Endorsed by Flava Flav.
Stedman.
This is Stedman whistling.
Yeah, look up Stedman on YouTube.
Is that really?
Stedman, he has a whistling
He's a
CD.
pro whistler.
Pro whistler, and one of the
That's
funniest.
Not a pro
whistling-
wrestler, a pro whistler.
Maybe the funniest whistling
do like
album
that?
you've ever heard.
But if
The hand
if you
whistle
have a
or,
lift,
like,
it could be a
just whistling
professional
with
He's
your
whistler.
lips?
he's just mouth whistling like a boss, but it's
Like a
it's
boss.
pretty good. I'm actually using that in the show.
Are you really?
Yeah,
How funny.
yeah, I am. I was like, he started whistling some Beethoven, and I was like, perfect, you're in. Brilliant.
A very interesting production of A Clockwork Orange to be coming to the Onyx Theater in just a couple of weeks. And,
Complete with Muppet Jesus.
well, maybe if it shows up from eBay in time. Let's talk a little bit about more about the music. Sandy, I thought, might have been here tonight.
I thought he was coming.
And we could have certainly have...
Wingtip Shoe, if you're listening, call in right now.
Well, no, I keep bugging Sandy to put a collection of all of his music that he's created for the theater.
I have that, and I listen to it when I drive around.
Do you really?
It's
very
Sings out
selfish.
loud.
of you.
Yeah.
I have so much of it.
I know
I'm
you
a
do.
huge Sandy fan.
I know you are.
Yeah, I have a picture of him over my bed.
I do too.
Yeah,
I wonder which one's bigger.
it's the picture I took of him when he was laying in my bed.
It's very meta of you.
Yeah. It's,
I got nothing to say.
Even Bell's like,
Bell's like, I got
Bell's like,
nothing.
I got nothing on that.
It's like that.
Bonk.
It's terrible.
And give us a little idea again of the type of music that we're going to be hearing, because it's a play with music. It's
Okay,
not.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a musical.
It's Anthony Burgess did something that I had just loved getting to work with, in the sense that he took a lot of the Ninth Symphony, the Fifth Symphony, the Sonata Pathétique, and I'm adding a little bit of
The Stedman
Moonlight Sonata, and he took those songs and then put lyrics to them. And so Alex, who's made love in his life is Beethoven, now you get this kind of pulse of that music in the world setting, and so you get to understand the character of Alex a little bit more, and you know that offsetting fact that he has such an appreciation for beauty and love in regards to music, and where he doesn't have that same concern with things like life, and he's purely a creature of instinct. He acts on every impulse that he has.
So you got classical music interspersed with some original music,
Sandy's original music,
and some contemporary song music as well that will be.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because you're one of the people I talked to during Developing Phase. That was the last baby that I finally let go.
Okay.
That concept did not make it to the show.
So Kokomo is safe.
Kokomo is safe for white America for another 100 years. But the Sonata Pathétique that
I love
Burgess
that.
provided,
Okay.
it has the same effect, and it's kind of in the scope of the world that we have created.
Okay.
It's a testament to the creative minds on these shows, and that's why I like when I come into with a concept on a show. I like it to be extremely flexible. I come up with great ideas and a world that would work. But that's the thing, like you said, about working with people that I know and trust. It's if there's these huge gaps in what I think I can accomplish, they fill them in and then some.
Yeah. And they're going to bring things, and you know that they're going to bring something that you weren't expecting,
Exactly.
Which I know that Sam's probably witness to that because.
Can I get a witness?
Oh no, dude, he's terrible.
No,
He's
no,
talking
because
a lot of stuff, but
but you said it. One of the very first things. Brandon comes in with these broad strokes, and you've worked with him enough to where you can corral him a little bit and know which direction he's going, and you can fill in some of those gaps for him.
We fight a lot.
Here's a question of truth here. Have you ever had a conversation with Brandon to make him have your idea? Because sometimes it has to be his idea. Have you ever led him to a conclusion that you wanted him to reach?
Yes.
Sure.
No, I mean, my thing is just kind of to.
Brandon really wants to know
I
this
kind
too.
of at certain points, like if I don't know like the idea or how much he believes in it, like I'll kind of fight him on it, and if it gets spot on enough, then it's a good idea. And then I fully just get behind that idea. And if he drops it, then it wasn't worth fighting for. But like as far as manipulating Brandon, that doesn't happen.
I didn't necessarily manipulate.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But
totally.
like getting him into a thing. I mean, like
Directing
it
the
is always my job to like if an actor comes to me and is like, "I'd like to do it this way," I'm just going, "Hey, Brandon, you okay about this? Can we just try it this way?"
But Brandon also strikes me as somebody that it's not about his idea. The best idea is what works, And
Well,
it's
what
not
the
an
what the
ego
group
thing.
creates.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The best is when you can throw it all up and say, "No, you know what? Your idea is the best. Let's do that."
Dude,
it's not. Oh no, that wasn't my idea. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Well, and that's that's something that very envious of the production of Little Prince that you did do, because there was so much group involvement in getting that show to be as fantastic as it was. I think I saw it 3 or 4 times. It was such a positive and creative adaptation that you did a lot of yourself.
Yeah, I did the actual adaptation.
Yeah. And so I can imagine seeing a lot of the same same things coming out of Clockwork's production, albeit I don't know what the emotional state of any audience member will be coming out of a Clockwork Orange, whereas coming out of a Little Prince, you felt good. You felt,
I promise a show that will make you think and want to discuss. And I think as an artist, that's one of the greatest potentials that we have.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is happening even at the stage of the show as it is right now.
Which is great. Yeah,
it's only going up from there.
And that's not only great for you as a director, but it's great for theater in general, and it's certainly great for the actors to be able to have that extended conversation beyond the show. Oleana got a little of that last year, which was interesting because that had never happened in a show that I had done, because most of the shows tend to be, here's where we go, here's what it is, you already know it, sing along.
I loved Oleana.
I did too. It's
it was really good. It was
a
really
very,
cool.
very rewarding show.
And I've actually brought it up several times, with even just like in workplace environments. I have interns that I work with.
When somebody's choking you over a table?
Not to creep you out, but I was talking about Oleana today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it was the conversation builders. Fun.
Yeah, and so that's what a endeavor to take on as your first QuadraNine production.
Is there a history to that name?
QuadraNine? Yes.
Yeah. I think most theater companies have some reason. You don't just choose a name, so I want to know what this
Yeah,
is.
Stage Door Productions, Terrence.
Well, there's actually a story behind that too, but it's less interesting than what we're about to hear.
We spoke earlier about I have a strong affinity to video games. I myself consider like a lot of the abilities that I just kind of have to, or at least in the way I visualize theater, stems from a heavy basis of video game playing throughout my youth. QuadraNine comes from there's an RPG series called Final Fantasy, and in Final Fantasy the maximum damage that you can do is 4 nines, 9999, and it in shorthand you call it QuadraNining, or our group did. And then I had a group of friends in high school that kind of adopted the phrase as a personal motto, the idea of doing everything to its maximum potential, and I've applied it in my concept of theater of that same kind of idea, hitting the sound and lights and costume and show and all the elements, and not really letting anything lack, and putting the best, not to be too nerdy, but the best team together, you know what I mean, that's going to be able to do it the most efficiently.
So with every production, you want to do the most damage possible.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Actually, it's
no, I mean that in a very, I mean that in a very constructive
We want to
way.
do as every show, every single creation, every performance, every idea that we attack. We want to hit with the philosophy that it is striving for perfection, to not let ourselves get lazy as performers. I asked it of my, you mentioned I asked it of my artists, my actors, when I asked them to be off book in a week and a half, and then I turned around and made the same promise to them that I was going to be working on the design elements just as hard, that I'm not asking them to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. And really in the end, the product that we've gotten out of it is being, we have a lot more time to fine tune things than most people do when you're trying to assemble it at the end. My actors, God love them, are still, working in most like part costumes and stuff that are all going to be finalized over the next couple of days. And there's big scenic elements that they have to work with, but they come in every day and slug it out, and they've put together some really quality work considering the scheduling issues, and Carissa Berge has done a phenomenal job as Alex, keeping her head together as we've had to work the show kind of out of sync to support all these different schedules.
Yeah, how is that? I mean, I'll throw the question to Sam, because the chronology of the show, there are certain emotional aspects of the characters that you have to build through the show. How do you deal with it? I mean, obviously you got to trust your actors to be there, but I know that you can't be there. I know that just because I did it today. Sweeney Todd can't come in at the very beginning of the show and be in that place that he's going to be at the end of the show. It's something that builds. What do you do, Sam?
Well, we do a lot of work with. We actually tackle that, like, especially with like the droogs. Like, we make sure, like, okay, this is what we are in the first act when we're droogs, and when you're police, we have a totally different mentality. Like, we have big giant discussions with all the cast, and really we talk a lot about stakes, like what it is that we are actually doing, what it means to actually hurt somebody, and if you turn a certain way, like throughout your life, like we talk about that, we make sure that, like, Alexander in the beginning, Taylor Haynes, is a certain way, and is very professional, and then by the time you see him in the end, he's just like this beaten man, and it's big discussions talking about, it's really the stakes, like as high as you can get them, knowing, like, discussing that, like, okay, if you can do this and feel nothing, what does that mean? Or have you ever seen anybody hurt? Have you ever seen, like, this? And we do claim a lot of, have a lot of discussions, and, like, if there's anybody over here ever hunted, we talked about one day, and it was, trying to see if anybody had seen violence, and everyone kind of discussed that. We kind of discussed, like, some of the violence we've seen in our lives, and
what is this doing though for the actors though when you're asking them to do contrasting characters, because you've got them double, tripled up? I mean, obviously their brains have got to be jello by the end of some of these rehearsals if they've got to transition between mother and then rapist. I mean,
well, Brandon has done a great job of kind of giving, like, if they're double cast, kind of giving them an arc that kind of fits
Each of
the
the,
whole thing.
each of the characters has a similar parallel arc. Yes.
Tressa plays in one of the scenes she is a victim of rape, and in the following scene she is the minister of the interior, so she's very powerful. So it's kind of like a rise. So you can start here and like now this is like, let's say they're not the same character very much.
This is Tressa Byrne we're talking about.
And like now this will build into like like now you took all this, let's say, and like you made it powerful. So there's a good arc in that. Brandon has paired. You have a few more pairings that you've done that way, and
it's like you said, when you're double casting and stuff, you can just kind of do it superfluously. Or I started with this concept of like, well, what if each character, even in their double cast, like this is explaining an entire arc of society or a moral point. With Tressa, like you were saying, she's the weakest character in the show, and then she's the most violent,
strongest,
and then she returns as the strongest form of the government representative in the show, the only one that you get. We have the doctors that administer the lab experiments, the Ludovico technique on Alex, are then his parents later in the show, and it's like I try to think as an audience, you can't trick an audience into not noticing that they're the same person. You know
I'm wondering, is it kind of and I hate to use the Wizard of Oz as an analogy, but the way Dorothy would see,
it's got that taste to
okay.
it, and
so we can watch your stage production and play Pink Floyd in our headphones.
Exactly. There's some pretty Pink Floyd. Our show ends in a very Pink Floyd-y way. I enjoy
Do we
it.
have another break that we need to take?
Yeah, I'm going to take another real quick break. We've only got about 10 minutes left. We don't really need to take one, but we should for the station, and just so that we can collect our final thoughts before coming back. You're listening to Curtain Call. This is Glenn with Terrence and Jamie, and our guests Brandon McClenahan and Sam Craner, and we'll be back in just a few short moments.
This is Matthew Scott, and you're listening to Curtain Call with Eric Ball.
I didn't mean to.
Oh, no.
I thought you said that we needed to.
I didn't want to cut off questions again.
It's on a refrigerated truck on its way to the restaurant.
Any final thoughts, you guys? Anything that you want to talk about that wasn't brought up?
Fresh tossed,
I think we hit most of the stuff.
Fresh cut produce, plus 8 ranch soups, pasta,
There's some really crazy scenic effects, but I don't really want to talk about it too much. I don't think we'll get to discover that.
Something healthy.
But we have some really cool shit. We got like some electroluminescent things.
No, the cameras are on, so if you want to give anything to our YouTube watching audience.
And you should see what we're going to do with them.
Well, I'm curious actually how you're handling the graphic nature of some of the scenes. I mean, as long as, Kevin isn't running across the stage with his pants off.
Yeah, no, it's that delicate balance when you start dealing with, anytime you're asking, actors to share their body in that kind of way, you have to, there's usually a mutual artistic respect in the sense that I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I don't feel is necessary or vital to these moments.
Sure, but there is some stuff that is crucial to the storytelling that you can't.
And then the brave ones can, not even brave, but
there's been the criticism, some of the criticism of Sweeney where Joanna and Anthony don't actually kiss, the actress is 14 years old and the actor is 23. It's a little weird, but there's been some of that. So
you can do that show in France, though.
Yeah,
maybe a problem.
Should have a glass of wine.
Come back in 1 minute after this PSA.
So is our friend.
Dude,
Ernest.
I know exactly all the stuff he's ever taken.
Yeah, right.
I can't sell any of it, man. I don't want my haunts.
All the situations he's ruined.
Yeah.
With bad timing.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Leroy Jenkins.
Like storming the beach.
You could actually do like instead of
somebody take the position. Leroy took the position. It's gone.
No, Leroy Jenkins. Yeah, it was just somebody screamed, or it was a catchphrase that like spoon.
Yeah, he stole. he would steal like mass loots. Like it was like, because when you on those games you raid for like hours at a time, and then he would like steal the thing that you do that you get at the end, and like just run and disband and drop out and run away screaming in everybody's headphones.
Alright, we're coming back in 10.
Keep it tuned right here to the sports voice of Las Vegas. AM 1400.
There's the banana.
You're not missing anything. You're missing it. There you go.
Hello? This works, right? This is the same thing.
Hey there, this is Kate Weatherhead from the West Coast.
This banana doesn't work at all.
With Erik and
Kate Weatherhead.
All right, we are just about finished with today's episode, if you will. Here in the studio with me, Terrence Williams and Jamie Woodard, and our guests this evening, Mr. Brandon McClenahan and Sam Craner, assistant director for Clockwork Orange, opening January 25th, Friday, 8 p.m., Onyx Theater. You can get tickets now, $20. Running for 3 weeks, 8 p.m. shows, except for the final Sunday, which is February 9th? 10th, which is a 2 p.m. matinee. So opportunities to see this. I can only imagine what is going to come out of your vision, and I do expect there to be a lot of discussion. I doubt a lot of it will be negative too, which is just as wonderful as positive. Yeah, because it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But as you were saying, you want people to leave your production talking about it, and you will get people hating it, and they will and they will be so angry, and it'll. Word of mouth, and it's like, really, you hated it?
Hate is the strongest emotion to love.
Yeah,
chemically.
Yeah, you definitely you don't want somebody coming out going meh.
Yeah, I'd rather have them be outraged than just be like, yeah, that show happened.
Yeah,
I can't understand that.
That show happened.
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to do this show?
Yeah, it's just like
there was people and they said things.
I sat down and watched a thing.
And stuff happened, and I went home.
It was better than Cats.
I laughed, I cried, I beat my pants.
The Jewish community.
It's better than the Pirates.
A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, that would be funny too.
Oy. Is there anyone the show is bad for? Is there anyone that you feel like? Because we were talking about like younger audience.
I have like Steed's in the show, and he brings his 14-year-olds to everything, or his 14-year-old son that he brings to everything.
But I mean,
it's the story. I mean, it's weird. I think.
Well, Alex is.
I feel like if you took your kid to see Sweeney Todd, you could.
I did. I took her to
bring your kid to see this, because I feel like
I need to go pick her up.
A little less thematically driven in Sweeney than it would be in Clockwork, but it just depends.
But it is
obviously
it is graphic.
Nudity is an issue. There's some nudity in the show. There are moments of graphic violence, and we don't really pull any punches on that. But then, like I said, at the end, nothing that we do is really for the idea of being grotesque or pornographic or anything like that at all.
No, but you were doing it because there was a point to doing it, and if there's a point to do it, there's a point of doing it properly and to the nines.
Yeah, absolutely.
All four of
Take
them.
it to the 9, baby.
So get your tickets now. Guaranteed that there will be some very sold out shows. I would expect.
So.
Well, even with a cast of 18.
Thousands.
We're really hoping they have
friends and family alone will fill up.
That's what I do. I just cast shows big enough to fill up a couple houses.
There are plenty of theater companies who do exactly
that. Nothing wrong with it. Good luck in the dressing rooms. Although
thanks, I'm taking a couple shots.
Well, the dressing rooms are much bigger than when we did Cannibal. There, we had to fit 18 people into a closet. Yeah.
Now they have 2 dressing rooms.
Yeah.
The Onyx is really turning.
I
really enjoy it.
Leaps and bounds.
And that's something I should mention. Offstrip Productions, Brandon Burke, who's running it over there. Offstrip Productions is co-producing this show.
Yes.
It's their first co-production with a theater company. That's been an equal co-production between them and I. And Brandon and the Onyx, I thank them very much for everything that they've done to help me out. It's been a real pleasure to work with them.
And it's first show you've done in the Onyx since when?
last show that I did in the Hamlet, I did.
But as far as
and then before Hamlet was
Insect
Play, I think was the last thing I directed. That.
Wow. Okay, so that
was the first thing I ever directed. Yeah, 4 years ago.
Coming around full circle. I want to thank you guys for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
I want to thank Terrence and Jamie for jumping in here and pushing buttons and ringing bells and waving a banana around.
I stole your last bell. I'm sorry.
If it's
You're the guest.
I'm going to turn your microphones off because we need to sign off here.
Goodbye.
3, 2, 1.
I just want to
Good morning, Vietnam.
thank everyone and ask you to tune in next week. We have some
people.
Who do you have?
I feel stupid right now because I can't think of Jay's name. Jay Joseph. Jay Joseph is going to be coming in next week to talk about a kind of a Battle of the Band Murder Mystery project that's happening at Don't Tell Mamas.
Dope.
So it's going to be very interesting so we'll hear more about it next week, 6 p.m. here on AM 1400 and on the interwebs at our YouTube channel, Curtain Call with Eric Ball. For Eric and Sean, who are not here, this is Glenn Heath, and have a great night, and we'll see you here next week. Go support the arts.
Bye.
Nice job. Ernest Hemmings, go to sleep.
Go to bed.
I wonder what happened. It's weird. I had Kathy Ostertag and Troy Hurd asking for directions for him, both. I wrote both of them back with exactly where to find it. Troy's been here before.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. All I can do is tell you where it's at.
We gotta get out there and see that show. I don't know if I can, dude. I hate that.
What?
Proletariat.
Oh, gosh.
Is that the one he's directing?
Yeah, it's the one that you sold me.
Sold out all weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Subscribers,
Both
baby.
shows.
Subscribers.
Both shows
Well, I knew Boing Boing.
Is the Black Box has subscribers?
No, I think.
Okay, cool.
Well, the Black Box you can
You can
get all part of it, right?
That's cool. I love the Black Box series.
So, here's your challenge. How do you get young subscribers? That's what you need.
Yeah, dude, I think that's why another thing, just from a purely business side, that's why the video game demographic is so exciting as well. They clearly have a lot of disposable income.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they spent video games.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
no, totally.
Games are in no way cheap, and so I think that's by giving them an event, because the idea with a gamer is you got to get them out of the house. And so with the video game tournament concept and things like that, it gives them an event and a place and a location they can go.
Totally.
So they see a show, then they play video games for a couple hours, then there's a fire pit outside if they want to hang out and play video games or whatever.
That sounds so
Where
great.
is this that you're building?
It's over off Ann Road 95. It's actually in the back.
That's something to talk about, too, at some point, because there's nothing up there.
Exactly. That's
So,
another thing.
that's good, too.
Or Richard.
There's nothing down by my house either.
Right here to the
Yeah, I mean,
Tried before.
Henderson's the same way. They used to have Theater in the Valley.
Right.
Who's heard of them in the past 6 years?
They died.
They did for a while.
Rick and Trish Wade doing down there right now.
Who?
South Valley. Rick Wade.
The Henderson Pavilion's kind of cool. The audio's kind of a nightmare. But
Where did
otherwise,
they-
there's other little places down in
Community
Henderson.
Center.
Oh, is that who did Susical?
Yeah, this is going to be a black box theater.
I don't know if they had
But it's not like an acre and a half, so we're going to have like a large park where people can come and like paint outdoors.
They do most. They were doing mostly children's stuff. A little bit
Music area.
That's kind of the branch a little bit.
You know what I mean? Like, both sides of town. There's really nothing that isn't, like, north or south. That,
Yeah, and especially the more like the cities.
I'm really a little surprised that, like, the Seven Hills Eastern area doesn't have something. There are a buttload of people there. And a lot of them have money. Seven Hills, Anthem, and
Summerlin Library is back on the map now.
This is a conversation to have on the show, actually. Where is it that we're lacking venues? And
you know
why?
what's funny is NPR used to do an annual, like, state of theater thing. I'll take it, for sure. But they just stopped doing it. They changed hosts. I should talk to Eric about that.
Stop at her village, driving her instead to a site where the
Everything
attack
good?
took place.
Cool.
In sports in the NFL, the CFC Championship game is over in New England.
I think actually it's the LV Taps guys kind of recommended doing a talk back after the show on that Sunday. Sunday, and I might do it. Might have that in, so you know what's going on.
I think that's
like a live recording or some kind of. You're welcome to come always.
Yeah, I don't like jumping in on their turf.
Yeah, totally.
Because they do something that's unique and
right.
Dude, what we'll do is we'll have you moderate.
I moderate. You moderate the shit out of that.
How do I stop this? Just press the stop button.
Goodbye, YouTube.
And then I said,
Said
say goodbye, everybody.
All right.
Bye, everybody.